Are we at a decent volume? Are we good? My wife's boyfriend let me have chips for this stream. We don't want the music too loud. We want just enough background noise. Hang on, I'm gonna finish my snack and then we can get going. Hey, I have a question. I want to pick y'all's brains for a minute. I want to pick your brains for a second. Can I ask you guys a question? So, my question. I have a poll option, don't I? Start a poll. So I have a question. And this is just a yes or no. We're not gonna engage in some epic debate. I just wanna like test my own audience on this question, because this is something that I've been discussing with Lucid and a couple other people for a little while. My curiosity is, do you guys think that playtime in a video game matters when giving your opinion? Do you think that playtime matters? And I'm gonna start the poll. I want to see what you guys think. Does playtime matter when giving a video game opinion? Again, we're not putting on a huge debate. I just want to test to see what people think. Speak with the votes. Speak with the votes. We are mass debaters. Aha, funny. Penis jokes. And while you guys do that, I'm gonna go ahead and get the Workshop Links channel almost ready to go here. So, for those of you that have no idea what's going on, who've never been here before, welcome to another installment of the TF2 Workshop review streams. What we do here is you guys send me workshop items from the TF2 Workshop. I pull them up on stream, and I give them my honest, unfiltered, no punches pulled, honest thoughts on whatever is sent to me. And the way you do that is you join the Discord that's linked in the description of this stream. There is a channel in there called Workshop Links. What you do is you post one link in that channel, only one, and I will pull them up on stream and we'll take a look. If you post more than one, I will ignore your message, because there's always way too many to get to. And I want to get to as many people as possible. So post one link only, okay? One link per person, all right? I'll give everyone a couple of seconds to get their links ready, and then I'll open the channel, okay? This guy asks, so why did I come back? I never left. So perhaps I should explain. The past couple of months for me have been insanely busy. I've had effectively next to no time to stream or work on videos. I've just had a lot going on. So that's why I've been quiet. Also, in the background, I have been working on my next video. It's really big. Not in terms of, like, scope and scale, but it's literally like an hour long. And it takes a lot of time in editing to get everything just right, so I really appreciate everyone's patience as I move forward with it. I'm really hoping to get the video out next month, but no guarantees, because I keep going back and finding things to change or tweak just to make it all the more better. So, really appreciate everyone's patience. That's why my main channel has been dead for a while. And that's why I haven't been streaming much, so I've had a lot going on. And whatever free time I've had, I've been putting towards working on this video. So I really, that's why I haven't been streaming much. So, appreciate that. Okay, so, if we're ready, I will go ahead and open the floodgates. And I will allow you guys to post your workshop links. Are we ready? 3, 2, 1, go. And here they come. Jesus Christ. Alright, I'm gonna go in chronological order, alright? We're gonna go in chronological order. So again, you post one link and one link. Oh, I should also mention, please do not send maps. If you send me maps, I am not gonna be able to look at them, simply because I'm not gonna boot up my game, fire up the map, and also I've not played on them, so I can't give proper feedback as to how the map plays. So please, only send cosmetics, taunts, unusual effects, war paints, and that's about it, okay? Don't send anything else. If you do, then probably not going to be able to give any useful feedback. Just FYI, okay? Just FYI. Alright, let's open up this many tabs before my Chrome just decides to absolutely shit itself. I have to make a mental note of where I left off. I left off on Little Big Guy. Yeah. If it's a map, I'll go ahead and skip it. It can be items that you guys worked on. It can be things that other people worked on. Whatever you want. So yeah, please send only one link, and then after the 5-minute wait time is up, you can send another, but there's no guarantees I'll get to it because there's already so fucking many. I try to make this fair, alright? Okay, first up, we have another billiard-themed war paint. Some people have made these before. Monkey's made a few of these. Right off the bat, this one's really clean. This looks really good. You got a really good color palette. Everything's playing really nice with each other. You have the brass details that add a nice light element to this. The sticker is actually quite nicely stylized for the game. You have the TF2 font on there. The colors, yeah, it looks like a randomized sticker. I think depending on the base you use, you can only have like up to 3 or 4 different stickers. Correct me if I'm wrong. The rare epic 8-ball. Yeah, this is actually quite nice. Just a nice, simple, clean skin. Looks really good in game, actually. Something I do find. I actually thought about this more recently. So when it comes to colors that are, you know, blue adjacent or red adjacent. So for example, for blue, purple and green are adjacent. And then for red, orange and yellow are adjacent, more or less. The way you can make those work in the game is if you darken them, right? So like green, obviously you can darken it and get like a military green. Purple can work if you get it really dark. Orange works if you know, make it lean more towards brown. That kind of thing. If you tone down the saturation or the brightness, you can get these off adjacent colors to work a lot better. This war paint's really good. Like, it looks fantastic. I say yes, and I favored it. This is really nice. You don't like the stickers, but that looks good. I think what's throwing me off with the sticker is it looks like he put a drop shadow on it. I think this guy did put a drop shadow on the sticker. I don't think that's necessary. I think if you just keep the same lighting on the 8-ball, maybe if you put an outline around it, see how that looks. The drop shadow is the thing that looks kind of bizarre because it's not like a striking 3D element, but that with the lighting on the 8-ball paired with the drop shadow does make it look a little strange. So perhaps get rid of the drop shadow. Darken the sticker? No, I don't think the sticker needs to be darkened. I think maybe a small outline on it so it pops a bit better would be a nice middle ground. Also, I missed a donation, $5. Was working on my Liquid Ashen Mark II revamp until you started. My bad. I appreciate the $5. Will I delete the VOD later? No, I will upload the VOD in its entirety as a separate video on the second channel. So that should be up later this evening after we're done. But yeah, break shot billiard, very good. I've seen this set before. Personally, I'm not a really big fan of the silver on this. It adds a lot of noise to the overall player model, something that should be kept as simple as possible with not a lot of visual noise. I much prefer this version, where it keeps the color palette within the spy's default colors. This looks a lot better. This is just really unnecessary and doesn't need to be there. If it was just this version of the poncho, I would like it a lot more. The silver just does not look good. Silver and gold really just do not translate well into TF2, I find. Like, Australiums are just too bright and what have you. See, like, on the hat, you can get away with it. On the hat, you can get away with it because it's a relatively small area of the overall player model, so it's restricted to a small area, and that's okay. But over the entirety of the spy, it just doesn't look very good. I much prefer the style without all the silver detailing, and honestly, what I know I've mentioned this before, but something that does irk me is that creators tend to slip additional styles into an item set or into an item, some that are just like objectively worse and shouldn't be in the game. This is an example of that. I don't think this should be allowed. If they had just stuck with this version, that was way more in alignment with, you know, TF2's color palette, the amount of detail, would have been totally fine. But I also remember this being sent to me like a year ago. Not a fan of it. I've seen this one before. I think this one's fine. Color palette and design is overall really clean. I think this is okay. Like, if you're gonna go for like a water-themed war paint, this is what you should do. Decent. Fuel tank. Pair with another awesome war paint, it seems. Fuel tank. Here we go. Someone else working with some tread plate here. Also, how does my stream look? Am I getting things centered in? Yeah, I'm getting things centered in. Good. This is really good. The color's really solid. You push... So, too much noise. Too much noise in my home where people are constantly talking on the phone and background noise is great. Yeah, I think this one's good. It looks awesome. I think we need more war paints and skins that use tread plate as a texture. It's just too good of a type of texture to not include on a war paint. This looks awesome. It's, I'm assuming, to be team colored, where you have yellow for blue and then orange for red. Yeah, it looks really good. You have custom blood on here as well. It looks like grease and oil, or I should say like gasoline and oil. This is really cool. With the higher wears too. Ooh! Ooh! Look at that. No, yeah, we have no bronze and copper skins in TF2. We absolutely need more. Look how good this looks. The custom wear on this is phenomenal. The texture work is fucking great. Yes, absolutely. Like, this pair is like... Pair has been picking up Pamp's mantle with making some kick-ass war paints. Unfortunately, it uses a custom base, so that means we'll never see it in-game because Valve is a lazy piece of shit. But, still looks really good. Would love to see it, but oh well. Pollock Plastered. Oh yeah, this is the guy that was trying to work on that Jackson Pollock war paint from before. There's just something about this pattern. Like, you're getting the colors a bit more into alignment with, you know, TF2's overall palette, but there's just something about this primary texture that makes it too blocky. Too large of patches of individual colors. Again, you're just at the mercy of war paint scaling when this happens. I feel like your dark brown might get a little bit too dark. You might want to, like... I think this brown is as bright as you want to get. Now we're in, like, minor nitpicking for this. This lighter brown is as light as you want to get, and the rest of the colors are fine. I would ixnay this darker brown, and I would scale down the overall texture. I would also... I don't like this. I don't like what you did here. I know you're just kind of fucking around with the pen tool in Illustrator, but this just... This element of randomness looks really bad when combined with an organized element in the form of stripes. You need to go with one or the other, and typically random elements don't look good in TF2 because pretty much all textures in the game are organized, with slight, small embellishments like dirt and scratches and what have you that get a little bit more of like that semi-realistic feel to them, you know, like the painterly style and what have you. I would not include large random elements like this, and of course Jackson Pollock is all about being random, and maybe it's just a dud. Maybe it's just a dud, I don't know. You can keep trying with this, but I just don't think a war paint based on Jackson Pollock is gonna work in TF2. Hate the way Valve changed the way workshop images, see how it cuts off the edges. Yeah, I know, it's really frustrating. I don't know why they did this. Very stupid. Personally, I don't like it. I don't think I'm not a fan of it. Magnum Opus. So we have a war paint based off of the AWP from CSGO. I mean, really can't go wrong with using very simple colors like this. Yeah, I could see this as being a simple mercenary grade. Pretty simple, pretty clean, nothing super special or striking about it. It's alright. Very similar to the, oh god, the Backcountry Blaster for Scout from the, what is it, the Craftsman collection, the 2.4 collection? I forget which one it's in. Very similar to that. In-game screenshots. Oh god, why does Steam do this? Fucking horrible. Well, I'll just zoom in a bit. In-game screenshots, looking pretty good. It's alright. It's not great, but yeah, like, yeah, I agree. If we had civilian grades, this would be a civilian grade war paint. Yeah, I'm okay with this. It's alright. Simple, clean, see nothing wrong with it. First base. So we have like, the hair looks really bad. That is not what TF2 hair looks like. You don't see individual locks like this in TF2. Like, this does not look like a TF2 item. The hat is fine. Maybe you should... Why'd you add the hair? Just keep Scout's normal hair, and then just give him this ball cap. I think that would be fine. Yeah, Overwatch Tracer looking hair. Yeah, the modeling work on this hair is not very good. It seems like we have a Germa reference with this baseball set. I'm a fan of the jersey. The jersey looks good. This seems totally fine. I'm okay with this. There better not be a fucking paint region on it. It's not the worst. I just don't like this. Already adds a lot more additional colors from Scout's default model, and then being able to color the undershirt on top of that makes it, like, especially like in this area, it makes it way too visually noisy. But I think if this wasn't paintable, I'd be totally sold on it. And the solid pants, fine. Like, this looks weird. Oh. It just looks odd to not see Scout wearing brown pants. It also looks very odd to have the upper half of a character model colored one color and then the lower half colored an entirely different color, but slightly different shades. And you put the whole thing together, why is it not the default color? Why is it darker? Why did you not make it the default team colors? I just realized this. Maybe you should do that. Yeah, so go back, rework this item, make it the default team colors. Don't make it a darker version of the team colors. I'm not sure why you did that. And then this would look a lot better if it was the default red and blue, but you made it darker, therefore I will have to completely pass on this item set because you didn't make it default TF2 colors. Nice. That's like the simplest thing to fuck up. Like, if you're completely overhauling the default color on an item set, don't do that. You need to preserve as much default color as possible. It looks weird. You shouldn't do that. This coat's okay. How old is this? Relatively old. I feel like I've seen this before. Yeah, I did see it. And if I remember my criticisms correctly, it seems a bit underbaked. Like, the modeling and the texturing work is pretty piss poor, and we already have better coats like this in the game. More or less, you know, I don't mind the, like, if you're gonna have an undershirt be paintable, this is, you know, a decent sized paint region for it. Yeah, it's a bit underbaked, and it's also pretty similar to Soldier's default coat. You added pockets and buttons. It's just not that good. TF2 models are intentionally darker near the bottom half, making the same as the shirt might not work as well. Seeing as I would agree with that, because the idea is to have the eyes being guided towards where the team color is, because, you know, you have contrast from dark to light. But if the entire character model is the team color, then it's no longer necessary. And it would work in that case with that Scout set, because you have other elements on his bottom half that help break it up. It's not one solid color. You have his belt, you have his shoes, you have his socks. That helps, right? And typically the Scout has his gun and arms in front of him, so it breaks it up a little bit more, so it's not just this wall of red and blue. If it were the default colors, you could do the default colors and then add, like, a slight gradient, like make his pants look dirty, right? Have it go from the default color, then add a gradient, like on Pyro's, you know, suit, to have it go down to, like, brown, like he's been sliding in the dirt to get a base, right? They could have done that instead of just making all the pants entirely darker. So, that's an idea. There you go. The Floridian alligators. Color work is fine. Very explicitly within the workshop guidelines for TF2 is that you want to avoid very fine details like scales, like hair, like skin, because these types of textures just do not translate very well into TF2 unless you're running like PicMip -10. Most people's game settings are not set to the point where this is going to look good. It's just going to turn into a green blob by the time it gets put into the game. So, if you're going to do scales, you need to make them a lot bigger. So, for example, let me start up my game and I'll give you an example. If you're going to do something that looks like reptile scales, the absolute smallest that you should get is on Dragon Slayer. Dragon Slayer does reptile scales really, really well. I'll show that in a second once my game boots up. Macaw Masked uses feathers, and feathers are another detail that can get very small, I do agree. But Macaw Masked also does it well, at least from the texture standpoint, not so much the color standpoint, of making them large enough where it doesn't get too noisy, and that's what you really want to avoid when you're working with small details like scales and what have you. So if I go to Dragon Slayer, see, let me get to a different weapon model. Let's go to, say, the rocket launcher. See, this is about as small as you would want to get for doing scales. For like, based off of a reptile or something. Because if you get smaller than this, then the texture is going to get shrunk down, really noisy. And notice that the lines in between the individual scales are much, much thicker. Whereas if you go to this war paint right here, they're very, very fine and thin. So they get really squished down. It's going to look fuzzy. It's going to look really pixelated. So you want to, one, scale this up, thicken the lines between the individual scales. The colors, totally fine. The custom wear, also totally fine. The custom wear actually looks really nice. So yeah, scale up the primary texture. And actually that might be the only thing you need to do. Because when you scale it up, the line thickness between the individual scales is also going to get scaled up. So yeah, maybe just scale up the primary texture, and then that will look a lot better. So try that. Try that. Yes. Trolley Tinted. Awesome war paint. I think I looked at this one before. This is just another really solid team-colored war paint. Yes, please. Give this to me. Super clean. Just look at this. Like... Like, I know, oh, we don't want more team service. Like, listen, we have an overabundance of really shitty war paints in the game. We need more simple and clean skins like this. And this looks fucking awesome. Very reminiscent of Coffin Nail. Oh, God, it looks so good. Nice balance of the colors. You got the darks, you got the lights. Oh, it has a custom wear down to silver. Oh! Give it to me immediately. You got the Fong. And it uses Night Owl Mark II. Oh, dude, it doesn't even have custom... It doesn't even have custom coding. So this can be added to the game right now. It can be added right now, please. I'm gonna exploit my chat. I'm gonna abuse my chat. I'm gonna ask you to go vote for it, please. Go show this war paint love, because it is fucking phenomenal. It's so good. I'd love to see it. Dated decor. Interesting concept. So it looks like he's going for like a worn out masonry, like worn out concrete, worn out wood. Yeah, like he's going for like the worn out buildings that you would see on some maps. This isn't bad. Another pretty simple, pretty clean war paint. I like this. It's very reminiscent of Small Town Bring Down and Civic Duty Mark II. Except those lean a little bit too far into, like, it looks like a toy category. And this avoids that. This still looks like a weapon, but gives you just enough color where it's like different enough from the default weapon models. This is good. This is actually really good. Yeah, this would make for a very decent merc grade. It's another simple, clean war paint that I think you could actually make a lot of decent loadouts with. Very good. Yeah, like if we had civilian grade skins again, yeah, this would make for a good civilian grade, absolutely. Can I show us a couple of examples of good metallic war paints besides steel brushed? Unfortunately, in-game, we really don't have too many of those. Dragon Slayer, I mean, probably not the best example. Really, you have to go back to the older weapon collections to see anything with decent metallic pieces on them. Of course, I'm always going to go to Coffin Nail, because Coffin Nail really just pulls off that good, sleek, metallic look perfectly. So, I mean, just go to something like, say, the rocket launcher. Like, this is just, you cannot beat the Gentleman's Collection, man. Really good, clean, simple metallic skins. We need more of these in the game. We don't have many more. I mean, we have Damascus Mahogany, but the main texture is a little too noisy for, like, the shininess to really come through. Yeah, so not the best example. We don't have that many. Hazard Warning. Hazard Warning isn't exactly shiny. You know? It looks good, though. Oh yeah, Corsair. Thank you. That's a perfect example. Corsair. How can I forget Corsair? Yeah, so Corsair is another example of a really, really good metallic skin. Oh, look at that. Really clean, sleek, shine. More so on the scattergun, actually. Like, look at that. You cannot beat that for a clean, simple metallic skin. Oh, it's so good. In fact, I actually recently cashed out my inventory. I only kept a few skins, and one of the ones that I did keep, if my inventory would load... Hello? Where are you? I'm blind. Where's my Corsair? There you are. I did keep my Corsair Medigun. I did keep my Corsair minigun. Like, I could not bear to part ways with this skin. And I kept a few things. I only kept all of these skins, and I kept my gentleman skins, but everything else I sold, because I'm just cashed out, baby. Anyways, those are some examples. Anyways, good skin, yes, favorite. YTI? Oh, Yeti. Oh, I see what he did here. So he takes the various Yeti themes around Mercenary Park. Okay, alright. This is odd to me. I like the green, I like the silver, but the hazard warning stripes look a bit... Like, I know what you were going for. You were going for the textures directly off the map. It's almost too brown. It's almost too brown. I feel like this could stand to be brightened up a little bit. Yeah, I would brighten this. It's too brown. Maybe lean it more towards yellow. Actually, yeah, maybe like a... let me think. Like, let me go to... fucking... Where's Park Pigmented? I fear even this amount, like this shade of yellow would be too bright. But the silver and the green and the black look really good. I feel like you throw a wrench in it by adding this brown color. Maybe try a different shade of yellow or orange, I think. But other than that, this war paint looks really good. Like, even as is, I'm not offended. Even as is, I would not be offended if this was put in the game. I think it's really clean, really sleek. The minigun looks really good. But I would call for an adjustment to that. I'm not sure what they should do. Yellow would look bad. Orange would look bad. Brown doesn't look terrible. What do you guys think? What do y'all think? I'm not sure what color this should be changed to. All I know is that I don't like the current shade. Team color it? The team color would look weird with green. Would replace it with black since it's a very small texture. Like the whole thing? Just make the whole thing black? You could. So you think just completely get rid of the hazard warning stripe? I think that would be okay. Maybe. More orange and bigger stripes? Yeah, perhaps. I don't think the thinness of the stripes is the problem. I think it's really the color. You could make the orange the silver. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, actually, try taking it towards yellow first, and then just experiment a bit. I don't have an exact answer, but all I know is that this orange looks odd. Plank Walker. Walking the plank. Pirate war paints. Yar. There we go. Yeah. Yeah, it's good. I don't know. I see nothing wrong with this. Another really simple, clean war paint. I really like the wood texture. I love this. It has the feel of TF2 without looking like something you already see in the game, so that looks really nice. Nice, you know, can't talk. Nice brass with the darker metal, looks really clean. You know, very it's like they combined iron wood. It's like they combined iron wood and lumber from down under into one war paint. And I actually like this a lot. I say yes. I vote yes for this. What do y'all think? I think it's pretty good. There's too many skins like that, I disagree. Go look at all of the fucking war paints we've received since 2017 and tell me that again. We have none like this in the game. Except lumber from down under and iron wood. I would take this in a heartbeat over another fucking pixel art war paint. Or a clip art war paint. 100%. It's good. I vote yes. Is this it? There's no other... We need more pictures, dude. Where's all your promos? We you didn't put any pictures in. I mean, I can try to critique this based off what I see here. It looks pretty good. Wait, was it updated? Here we go. There we go. Now it's updated. I really, really like what you did with the sticker. I think the sticker looks really good. It's still, ooh, wow, the quality of your screenshots very much leaves something to be desired. Very, very pixel. Very pixel, very crusty. Doesn't really help you when trying to show this off in your workshop promos. I'd recommend really ramping up your game settings when you take your screenshots, because it's pretty bad. But on the larger weapon model, I can at least use the black box here. The black box looks really good. The color, okay, so color palette's great. Love the sticker on this. Sticker looks phenomenal. Definitely something you would. It's at least loosely reminiscent to TF2. It feels more like, you know, like the new TF2, the kind of style they were trying to lace in post Meet Your Match. But I like it. Reminiscent of like the Gentleman's Collection with the crests, so pretty good. I don't like that the guns are kind of angled towards the viewer. If they were flat and crossed like this, I think that would look better. Minor nitpick. But overall, this is nice. It's like a sleeker default weapon model. I think it's good. I vote yes. Like, as is, this is really good. Look at that. I also like how you handled the wood texture. You used like some kind of noise filters or what have you inside of either Photoshop or After Effects or something. But you managed to make that look good. The wood looks good. This is quite nice. I vote yes. So, it seems like... Yeah, it seems like we have a Dragon Slayer replacement. We have a Dragon Slayer replacement Warpaint, meaning we only have 9 individual weapons. This looks really cool. Looks really good. This is sick. Yeah, this is another pretty good metal skin. Goes hard, as the kids say. I don't know. I think it's good. I feel it kind of feels like you tried to do a little too much. Because like I like the grill on the side. I like the I like all the individual elements of this, but it feels like you tried to put too much onto each weapon model. I feel like you could remove one like this feels too cluttered to be a TF2 skin. Like, I feel like you could have removed the air vents on the sides, and that would help it look a bit cleaner, a little less busy. On the larger weapon models, it isn't so much of a problem, but on the smaller ones, yeah. Rocket launcher's fine. Rather, I shouldn't say on the smaller weapon models, but on the smaller, like, elements of the weapon model. Like, it looks strange to have an air vent on each of the individual barrels on the grenade launcher. And like here on the shotgun, the vent here looks like it's kind of crammed in there. Like, or maybe it could just be an issue of positioning it. Again, I really, really like all the individual elements on this. I just think the organization of them is a little bit haphazard. Like, this looks fine. Like here, at first glance, the thing I don't see right away is the air vent. This smaller detail. I'm hit with the larger areas of single color and then the shark teeth mouth on the side. And then, of course, the heat vents for the barrel. This looks really good. What about the medigun? Yeah, to me, it feels like you're really trying to just find a place for some of these smaller elements, and you may not even need these, honestly. I would get rid of the air vents. That's what I would do. I would get rid of the vents. Maybe you don't need the vents. Oh yeah, where's your wares, man? I want to see higher wares on this. I would imagine this has to have some kind of custom wear, doesn't it? Surely it does. Here we go. There we go. Yeah, looks like it wears down to silver-ish, or maybe there isn't a custom wear at all. Can't really tell. Looks like silver to me. But yeah, the wear looks really good. I'd change the vent design. Yeah, perhaps. I think the vent design itself is a very cluttered element because, like, look at the base warpaint, right? The shark face and the teeth, very simple design. The bomb stickers, very simple. The heat vent, very simple. But then you have a lot of small details cluttered into this one element. So perhaps you could simplify this to where you don't have like the bevel, you don't have the vents so closely spaced together. maybe remove one of them and space them out more so you get more of the silver showing up in between them. It really is the vents that are bothering me, I think. The bomb stickers are randomized. It doesn't seem like it. Don't know. Either way, I'm still like 85% okay with this. Like, the only thing that's bothering me is this minor detail of the vent. Even as is, if we got it in the game, I would be happy. Like, I'm just doing minor nitpicks right now. It's very good. Nice work. Here we go. I think Pamp did a very similar war paint to this some years ago. Forget which one it was. But he took inspiration from a lot of the spy tech inside of 2 Fort, and this war paint pretty much does the exact same thing, like looking at the radar scanners that you see around in like the 2 Fort intel rooms. This looks really fucking good. All the colors are right. It just allow me one critique, because Pamp still did this better. Pamp still did this one better. Hold on, let me find his. Give me a moment, I'll find it. Yeah, see, here we go. So he did this war paint based off the spy tech in the areas of the map, but you know what he did here? His grid texture is very different. So here, it's a bit finer. It's a finer mesh, and it doesn't have this thicker line going through it. I think you should remove this thicker line. If you do that, then I think it would be better. Because I think that's what's throwing the war paint off, is that thicker line. I would also scale it down just a little bit. Because the way Pamp executed this here, like, this looks a lot better. Also, to be fair, this one uses custom mapping, so he was able to scale the textures. He was able to scale each texture as he saw fit. So there's that element as well. But yeah, this one trying to do the same thing, but it does fall short on this texture. I would just get rid of the thick lines. You don't need the 2 lines going across the middle. It's not an element that you're going to see anyways on most weapon models, to be fair. Like, you're not going to notice it, and when it shows up, it's just going to be this thicker line that throws a wrench into how it all looks, so I would just remove it. Other than that, I still like Pamp's more, because this is like a nicer eggshell off-white, and this leans a bit more towards silver, and I think this clashes a bit too hard with everything else, whereas here the palette is a bit more refined. Also, Pamp adds this stripe going down the middle that helps tie the team color texture to the brighter texture, and his gray isn't so dark. This is bordering on black. This is still a really good war paint, don't get me wrong, but I will say that Pamp did do this one better. Just gotta say. But this one's still good. If this one was put in the game, would also not be offended. It's really good. Minor nitpicks. Like, I'm 95% okay with this one. Nice work. Yes, good. Personally like the color distribution better, perhaps. Make it a solid color and the lines... Make it a solid color, the lines look out of place. See, I don't think so. I think the lines look fine as a smaller element on the overall composition. I think it's okay. I think they can stay, and it would be totally okay. 100%. Okay, so now we're getting out of Warpaint territory. Special Medical Forces. So we have like a full combat medic set. It's too much, man. You're throwing too much onto the medic. You can't... TF2's character models are intentionally simple and blocky for the ease of readability. When you throw a bunch of random stuff onto the player model, it makes it look noisy. It doesn't look like a TF2 character anymore. There's a reason why you should not stylize item sets from other video games and then bring them into this game without heavily simplifying them. Because if you don't, this is the result. Something that does not look like a TF2 character. It looks like they took the torso and the legs from a different video game, and they stapled the medic's neck, arms, and coat onto it. It's just a big mishmash of stuff. I don't think it looks really good. Rainbow Six Siege, Call of Duty skin, yeah, this doesn't feel like TF2 at all. The colors are fine, the texture work is fine. I think the shoulder pads are okay. I would get, like the shoulder pads are a decent element to it. But you have too much stuff. You got the belt buckle, this color here, all the straps and knee pad. This isn't even like a knee pad. It's like a shin guard, or like this is a shin guard, but like a calf guard, where the fuck that is. I don't know. A thigh guard. Yeah, it's you got too much going on, man. You have to strip away some of the elements. Like for the hat, I wouldn't have the visor. I would get rid of the visor on the helmet. I would just have the helmet and the balaclava, and that's it. Yeah, you did too much. You gotta dial it back. Just have the vent on its own, nothing more, nothing less. Yeah, just the vest. Yeah, you could have just the vest. You don't need the walkie-talkie. You can keep the medic emblem. You can keep the straps here. Get rid of the pockets. You don't need like the 50 fucking pockets that add more noise. Oh god, of course the mask is entirely paintable, because why not? Why not just make the cross paintable? Really? Why do you have to make his whole head fucking paintable? Ugh. Yeah, this is just not a great item set. It really does not feel like TF2 at all, so I'm gonna have to pass. Here we go. Taunts. I have seen this one before, and I think I've commented on this before. Yeah, like, haha, you missed me, like, point and shoot here. I've become less and less enamored with TF2 taunts over the years. Like, oh, Zesty's being grumpy and grouchy. Yeah, I'm personally not a fan of character manifests object out of the middle of the ground and then interacts with it and then puts it away. I really do not like that for TF2. These also just doesn't really feel like a TF2 emote, or a TF2 taunt. It feels like a Fortnite emote, I should say. It's also very overly animated and doesn't feel like a TF2 interaction. It's just, I'm not a fan. I don't think we need more taunts like this. We just, you know what you could have done? All you could have done was just animate the sniper doing this. Just like, shoot here. He doesn't need to pull up this fucking billboard and like slap a stick. Like, aim here. No, just like fucking do this, right? Like, aim here. Like, haha, you missed me. Like, do that instead. That's a much simpler taunt that you would expect to see, and is much more in alignment with TF2's classic taunts, right? Or like, pull the trigger, right? Or like, pull the trigger, right? You missed me, something like that. Instead of just adding all this extra random shit next to him. I don't think it's appropriate. And you guys all agree. There we go. Thank you. It's much better. Or like do this, do like a crosshair motion on his forehead. That might be mistaken as like the sign of the cross, but something that doesn't involve manifesting like a placard and like, no, aim here. Simpler is better. Man, hello, what is this? Who is this guy? This is guy's first ever. Interesting. We have very few good white war paints in TF2. This is really good. Oh, he's got little paint splatters in here, not too much, so it doesn't get too busy. Modified from the TC Hydro texture. Oh shit, dude. Look at this. Wow. I mean, you doctored the screenshots a little bit for your promos, and, how it looks in-game is very different. But even in-game... Yeah. In-game, it looks really good. It's personally a little misleading to do this amount of doctoring for your promos, but it does really help. But this looks really good in-game. We need more simple, clean, white war paints. We don't have that many, and it's hard to get white correct because you can't do flat white. You have to desaturate it and make it look like a TF2 texture, which they did because all it is a modified hydro texture. I say yes. Yes, I will link this. I will link this one. This one I think deserves a little boost. It deserves a little boost. It's pretty good. I approve. War paint that looks good in anywhere? Yeah, it's more likely than you think. It's more likely than you think. It works on blue team. It looks weird against red. I understand what they were going for here. It's meant to look like the administrator's dress, but I just... It's not bad. It's just so hard to get purple to look correct. Like I mentioned earlier, getting, you know, red or blue adjacent colors to work properly in TF2 takes a little bit of manhandling with the shading, or the shade of the color. Green is a lot easier, because green, you can darken it into a military green, and then it just works. Purple is a lot harder to get right in TF2, and I've said this across so many of these streams. Purple is a bitch. I don't know what you could do. You could darken the shit out of this. You know, make it more grayish or make it more blackish. You can try that, because here, even now, it looks like they just used Villainous Violet as the color choice for this, you know, like the paint can. It's really hard to get right. I don't know. Feels a bit saturated. Yeah, it does feel a bit saturated. That's why I suggest, you know, washing it out to be a little bit more like grayish. That might help it a little bit. It's just purple is, I don't know, man. Purple works for details, not as a main color. Yeah, I agree. Like perhaps like on the minigun, these smaller elements you can get away with it, but like large areas of the weapon model, yeah, I just don't think it looks very good. Yeah, he is on the right track, and I think I would have loved this a lot more if this was just like a simple team color war paint. Why not do purple for blue and then something else for red? So you can keep the purple in there, but then you can do some other color for blue, or for red rather. So, as someone who loves purple, would want more purple in TF2. I sense bias. Yeah, that's actually not a bad idea. You could do something in alignment. Actually, yeah, what you could do is do what Saccharine Stripe does. So Saccharine Striped has this very regal, royal, rosy red for red team, but then it has purple for blue team. So perhaps you could go with a darker, rosy red for red team, and then that is the solution for this war paint, is to make it team colored and then do a reddish hue for the red team. I think that's what you need to do. There's your solution. Yes. I'm just so over unusual effects, man. Like, we have almost 1,000 effects in the game now. Can you believe that? We have almost 1,000 unusual effects in TF2. Like, I don't think... We don't need more. We don't need more. We don't need more color palette swaps of the same effect. We need more unique effects that are at least slightly in alignment with how unusual effects used to be. Those were, in my opinion, a bit more tolerable than these big neon blobs over people's heads. Like, the sun one is my favorite, because it's at least orange and yellow, which is reminiscent of TF2's color palette, but of course, because as is per requirement and order nowadays, is you have to have every neon color palette swap imaginable. Otherwise, Eric Smith is not going to pick it. You could have just done the yellow version, and then that would have been better. Also, this, like, sun thing doesn't really look like something you'd see in TF2. We already have a better effect that does this, and that would be Morning Glory. So, no. I'll pass. Now here's an unusual effect. Here we go. We've come back. Do I see, like, little social credit arrows, dude? There's social... Oh, yes, there's little social credit arrows. Plus 5 social credit. We agree. If you agree, you get plus 5 social credit. Oh my god, it's fucking horrible. Oh god, this is so dumb. We agree. Here we go. This is my unusual effect here. We agree. Plus 5 social credit. Gunpowder. Gunpowder. So, I'm assuming that you intentionally made the textures to have it look dirty by default in Factory New. That's what they did here. Very interesting. It's not a war paint, though. It looks like it's only 5 weapons. I'm assuming this isn't a war paint. It's a bit too detailed. Yeah, these are custom map skins, unfortunately. So so this will never get added into the game, sadly. It looks really good, but we'll never see it in TF2 because, you know, Eric Smith is a lazy ass. They'll never put this in the game. They'll never put skins like this in the game. I do fear that you might have done a little too much. I feel like you need to simplify your textures a little bit. It gets a bit noisy. Like, this looks fine. That looks fine, but then you start throwing some wear on there. Also, this doesn't help your promos much. I would not have used one of your textures as the background because I think it's doing a disservice to this. Maybe it isn't too busy. I feel like you could have... Nah, maybe not. Maybe it's okay. Maybe it's okay. Yeah, I think it's alright. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's okay. I like it. I'm okay with it. The way he did the wear, custom wear, normal map, and edited wear blend to remove scratches, the way he did the wear is what's making it too busy. Because here we have wear coming on here. And when you start removing the patches of the color like this, then it starts to look really noisy and busy. So, in Factory New, looks fine. But when you start throwing the wear on there, then it starts to look kind of ugly. Like, that's Factory New, and then this is a higher wear. See? That looks too noisy, but this looks fine. So the way he executed the wear makes it a bit too much. But in Factory New, it looks really good. It does still look really good. Don't get me wrong. It looks fucking phenomenal. If added as is, fine. Another war paint where I'm like 85 to 95% okay with what I'm seeing. Just a minor nitpick on how the wear is executed that makes the weapon look a little bit too noisy. Then again, we go to something like, I don't know, Small Town Bring Down. Let's go to Small Town Bring Down. It's a pretty good example of this. Small Town Bring Down, and then you battle scar the shit out of it. It's pretty noisy. So, this isn't an excuse to add more stuff like this into TF2, but actually, I'm kind of okay with it. I'm okay with it. What do y'all think? Too much? Y'all think it's too much? I'm kind of leaning back towards I'm okay with it. Do I remember every war paint by heart? Yes, I have an autistic fixation on skins in TF2, so I remember fucking everything about them. So. Not a fan. Awesome. Comparing it to the war paints we've seen 2 years ago, it's a huge fucking leap in quality. Yeah, I would say yeah. I agree. Thing is, Monkey, I don't like that to be an excuse because, like, if you've been fed nothing but rotting dog shit for 5 years, and then you're given, like, a rice cracker, of course that rice cracker is going to be like a gourmet meal to you, but that doesn't make it a gourmet meal. You can, of course, do a lot better. But, yeah, I'm okay with it. I say yes. I say yes. We already saw this. This is already in the game. Like, this is now in TF2. Formal wear. We have the formal wear for the medic. What do you guys... What's the paint region? What's the fucking paint region? It's just the tie. Okay, thank God. It's just the tie. Thank fuck. Wow. Pretty good. This is actually really nice. This is a really good medic coat. Holy shit. I personally, biggest fan, I like Style 1. You can't beat a classic tie. That's my favorite. The open shirt, to me, looks a little odd. Like, I feel like they should have done a sharper V on the modeling than the U shape they went with. I think a sharper V would look a lot better. Minor nitpick. Bow tie, fine. But this looks really good. This has a lot of really good loadout potential. This is nice. This is, yeah, more subtlety is needed in TF2 after being fed years of gaudy garbage. Yeah, this is really good. I wholeheartedly approve of this meta cosmetic, please. Very good. But then I'd have to stop using my fucking... Where's my other one? Where's my other loadout? Where's my Monopoly guy? Then I'd have to stop using my Uberwear. I like the Uberwear. I don't want to stop using it. Oh well. Looks good. Thing is, like, this is the Uberwear, but just with his coat intact. And I kind of like the way that looks more. Send the link? Alright, I'll send the link. Here. I will send the link. You also have the bow tie. I agree. Hazmat suit. Funny. Hazmat soot. Anyway, yeah, fucking awful paint region. Of course, all of the stripes have to be paintable. Jesus Christ, what the fuck were you thinking? Goodbye. Westman Warpaint. I saw this. The guy who made this one was messaging me earlier about it. It looks really good. I think the final product is really nice. Very fantastic. Clean, simple, sheriff-based. Another metal Warpaint, metal, wood, and brass. You can't go wrong. It just looks really good. Sticker is good. Simple sticker. You got sheriff on there. That's all you need. My dogs are barking. Please ignore that. Yeah, that's just another really good, clean war paint, and we need more of them. There's a new sheriff. Dude, there's a lot of loadout potential you could do with this, too. Like, this alone. Woo! Yeah, you can do a lot. Sheriff-based. Indeed. I'm... Last one for a while, I promise. Last one for a while where I'm gonna abuse my audience for people to go upvote this. Very good. I think you leaned a little too hard into pink territory. The blue looks fine, but you made it too pink. What he was going for here is here in these promos, it looks a lot darker. But when you actually see it in game, it's very pink. Because what he was going for was recreating the bot carrier from Man vs. Machine. And the blue version looks really, really good. It looks pink. It's pink. Make it more red. Very bad languaging from me, because grammar hard and speak bad. But do red more, pink no good. But the blue looks really nice. God, what could you... Like, these darker areas look nice here, but the lighter areas on this texture... These lighter areas are too pink. Like, the darker areas are fine. I think you need to make these a little less pink. These areas here. Yeah, the red is too pink, but overall, it's still a really nice war paint. It's really good. Looks good in higher wears. I like the added elements of the little lights or the windows on the side. It's a nice little extra detail that doesn't make it too busy. You have here we go. This is how you do vents in TF2. This right here. You space them out individually like this. You don't have a lot of 3D embossing and 3D elements on this. This is how you do a vent detail in TF2. So the guy who did the warplane themed one, try doing something like this to simplify that venting element, and that would look good. I know I'm gonna get nothing but shitty Sussus Amogus references now, but 2 pounds, no pinky. No pinky. Looks more like salmon orange to me. Maybe I'm just colorblind. I don't know. I think I am slightly colorblind. I've never actually tested that, but it looks pink. But even as is, it's an yet again. Coincidence? I think not. It's not. It's no coincidence. That's no fucking coincidence. Son of a bitch, he got me. He fucking got me. This was the most elaborate ploy to have an Amogus moment on my fucking stream, because I cannot stand the game. I cannot stand the memes. I fucking hate it. And this was the most complex, elaborate ploy to get me to focus on the color, to see the vent, and then to scroll down and see the fucking crewmate shit. Fucker! Got me. Anyways, another instance of a war paint that's 95% fine. If it was added as is, I would be okay with it. I just think it's too pink. Make it not pink. Yes. What the fuck is this? Oh, it's horrible. This is great. Oh man. This is some hold on, this is some fucking where is this shit? This is some remix quality. This is some remix quality stuff, man. Y'all remember this guy? Y'all seen this guy's shit? Y'all remember this stuff? It instantly made me think of this guy's videos. It was the first thing I thought of when I saw this. Oh, shit. I miss this guy. He's great. Fucking awful. Anyway, moving on. Oh god, yeah, I saw these. These just look really, really bad. So, the problem with doing really small, fine details like this for TF2 is that you don't, like, again, this goes back to TF2 models being inherently simple, and when you add really small details like this, it just looks really bad. They also had to model over the medic's existing, already very big, blocky hands, so his hands look even more meaty and chunky. Yeah, and compare that with the already like low poly of the medic's hands, it just looks really, really bad. And then this strap here, this strap element revealing more skin is completely unnecessary. You could have just kept that as the normal glove and then did the fingerless thing. Why are there holes for the knuckles? Is that what you see in fingerless gloves? That just looks weird. Oh, it's so... oh my god, it's like a chode. Look at that. Oh, fucking sausage thumb, dude. Holy shit. Yeah, this just looks really, really bad. This is just not a good... bad idea. Bad execution. Just not good. Oh, man. Unfortunate. This again. Warlord. Medic is British. Here we go, Warlord. So he's got like runic details on this. He's got runic details alongside this kind of filigree pattern. I think the filigree pattern on this looks really good. I like how he stylized the TF logo to not to have, you know, the more angled edges, which is more in alignment with the rest of the elements on the war paint. The only thing I don't like on this is I don't like the other runes. I think the other runes feel really out of place with the detailed and more elaborate filigree. I don't know what you could do about that. I don't know. Still waiting for that blue archive. Blue archive is not popular in the TF2 community. Pickle Rick and furries and Twitter are popular in the TF2 community, so you're not gonna see a blue archive reference for TF2 anytime soon on the workshop. Oh, I see. You did T and F for the runes. It's clever, but I feel like they take up too much real estate. Perhaps what you could do is make this stripe more narrow, like reduce the amount of real estate on that and then give this more real estate. Like say you have this thicker stripe in the middle, a bit bigger, and then two skinnier stripes with the same runes. That might look better. A minor nitpick on an otherwise really okay war paint. Yeah, this one's okay. I'm not as big of a fan of this one as the other ones of yours we looked at today, Sussus Amogus, Fantac, but I'll still say yes. I think this area, I think the filigree is what needs to be the main highlight of this skin and not the runes. Because I think that element looks really good. Like, when you get the logo and this together, that looks really nice. But when these other runes show up on the weapon model, it looks really bad. That looks odd to me. Like, these don't take up the right amount of real estate to be in the middle of the stripe, like the TF logo does. Like, if this was just the TF logos repeating, that would look better. Honestly, just do that. Yeah, just do that. Have this just be the TF logo repeating. That would look good. Try that. But again, like 95% of the way there with this one. Militarist Mud. Oh, very... Oh, God. Well, probably this guy's first war paint, and he committed sin on various fronts. He made a very noisy and overly detailed primary texture, which just does not look good. You need to not use blood or mud splatters of this fine of level. Also, the quality of your texture is really pixelated. I can't tell if this is your game settings or if this is the actual texture. It looks like your game settings. So if you're going to take screenshots of your war paints, you need to max out your game settings, otherwise it's going to make your own work look like shit. And then you have this other camo texture, which seems fine, but what the fuck's going on here? What's this? What's happening? Oh god, maybe don't do that. If you're gonna do a camo texture, you need to have the individual elements of the camo be relatively uniform in terms of the area of coverage, otherwise you're gonna get really ugly, random, giant chunks of color that look really ugly. Yeah. So just work on those few things that I suggested you do. Also, get rid of don't make this like splotchy, shiny shit. Like you could just do a simple color. Like what's like a war paint that does mud relatively well. Well, you can't do mud too well in TF2. Yeah, maybe you can. You could do Spruce Deuce. So for example, here's Spruce Deuce. This just uses a dirt texture from the game. So try recreating a dirt texture from TF2 first. Try that. Try to emulate something like this for your mud, and then go from there. Because your first attempt is not very good. Yeah, so try emulating TF2's textures first. That's like the main piece of advice that I give to people whenever they're trying to make war paints for TF2. If you can make a texture that looks like a TF2 texture, then the world is your oyster. Yes. Now you can do dirt. Just not that dirt. Just not that dirt. Alright, we get some more links here. I feel like I'm clicking on the same links over and over again. I probably am. Give me more. Let's do you and you. Mental note. I left off at Suspicious Carl. Saw that. Here we go. Not a TF2 skin. Not a TF2 skin at all. This is the right type of art style. This is the incorrect type of detailing. This just does not belong in TF2 at all. CSGO? Sure. Valorant or Fortnite? Sure. But just not a TF2 skin. Not, concept, execution from start to finish, just a dud. Hard pass. Payload painted. Here we go. I think I saw a version of this one before. Pretty sure I did. Yeah. Yes, I did. And it seems like he's vastly improved it. Looks really good. Wood texture. The wood texture is the weakest part of this. Why don't you just cheat, honestly? You could just cheat and take an existing wood texture from TF2 and then hue swap it a little bit and then put it there. The metal texture looks fine. Silver texture, phenomenal. The wood texture is really detracting from this still because you have too many of these fine lines. I would try working to, you know, again, emulate a TF2 wood texture. For example, Blasted Bombardier is really good at that. The wood texture on Blasted Bombardier is fucking fun. Like, this is perfect. You want to go for something like this. Or perhaps Lumber from Down Under uses another one that's pretty good. Yeah, so you want to try to go for a wood texture like this, like on the scope or on the butt. Go for that. Yours has too many of those thinner, fine lines. You don't want to do lines. You want to do things that look like paint strokes in order to get, like, the appearance of lines, right? But here, it looks like your paint strokes look too thin. Also, they look too smeared. It's not quite the same as, like, the painterly style here where you can see harsher boundaries. You don't have that in this texture. I would work on this texture more. But compared to the first version, a lot better. A lot better than the first version I saw. I think in January is the first time I saw it. Yeah, I think it's fine. Yeah, the team colored metal looks really good, and with the silver, awesome. The wood still needs a little bit of work. I'll say yes for now, as is. Wouldn't be upset if it was put in the game, but I would definitely work on that wood texture more. Commando camo. TF2? Hello? TF2? Anyone? The hair and the mustache are fine, but I feel like you're doing too much. Might be a bit too much. I think I don't like the addition of the camo texture. I don't like the addition of the tattoos and the dirt and the tattoo. Like, it's too much. You can't have that much noisy detail on what is supposed to be inherently simple textures. When you throw more, again, this goes back to what I said earlier about that medic set, and when you throw more visual noise onto a character model, it adds too much crap that detracts from the readability of the game. The hair is fine. The hair and the mustache, that cosmetic, fine. But what they did with the torso, it's like they have 6 different cosmetics in one. You have the armband, I see clipping. You have the wife beater. You have the tattoo. You have the dirt. You have the necklace. You have the chest and the chest. It's just too much. Way too much. Can't. Whoa! My Discord just did a hard reset and I lost my place. Awesome. Thank you, Discord. You suck. Yeah, I'm not a fan. I think the hair is fine, but I don't like the wife beater. It throws too much onto his model. Not good. That's a lot. No, yeah, it's called a wife beater. I know I've seen this set before. It's not terrible. It's not terrible. The paint region is ass because when you have hair or a facial cosmetic, why wouldn't you have just the entire thing be paintable, right? Oh yes, it is the meek. Oh god, you can't make a non-bald merc bald because you have to model over their existing hair, and it looks they have like a tumor on top of their head. We don't need the bald style. The bald style looks bizarre. The one with the hair though, totally fine. The one with the hair is fine. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not really sold on it. I say no. It looks weird. Too much detail in the beard and the hair. Like, I understand what they were trying to do. It looks like they were trying to go off of, like, a marble carving. You know, like the marble statues you see around Rome and whatnot. It's just too much flow and detail onto Medic's inherently very simple hair, right? Like, compare Medic's hair here to what you see here. I just don't think it looks very good. I'm gonna say no. Sergeant Surplus. I have seen this one before. It looks really good. Nice. You know, based off of, you know, what you'd see on the reserve shooter. Again, military camo green. Can't go wrong. I feel like your sticker could be brightened up a little bit. I would not. You could make that brighter. It's a bit too faded. I would honestly make that almost to like a pure off-white, and that would look a lot nicer. I feel like your wood texture here and your green texture here are two same-y, I would make one or the other a bit more saturated and slightly darker, because they blend together a little bit too much. The custom wear does look really good, however. Custom wear is good. What's going on here? I didn't notice that texture. What is that silver texture? Well, I guess you're at the mercy of the base that you used. If it shows up as a smaller element, then that seems fine. Yeah. So that's okay. It looks fine everywhere. It looks fine everywhere else. But yeah, brighten up your sticker. I would, honestly, I would saturate your green a little bit more. I don't see how that could hurt you. Do I have a normal reserve shooter? Yeah, like, saturate your green a bit more. Bring it into alignment with the reserve shooter's green. And notice how the sticker here is a lot brighter. Do that, and it would look a lot better. Actually, no, keep your green the same, but brighten up the wood texture. I lied. Keep the green texture, brighten up your wood texture, and also brighten up your sticker. Make it more white. Just boost the opacity on this. Or, sorry, drop the opacity on this. Boost, drop, whatever makes it brighter. I forget the brain. Brain bad. Incognito coat. It looks weird. Why is it, like, bright? It's like we have... No. It looks weird. Like, the texturing looks... So, the textures look low res. The modeling is very blocky. It looks like they textured on the belt and the folds in a weird way. It looks fuzzy, and they changed it from Spy's default colors. Like, the design is fine, but the execution is very poor. Yeah, don't do this. Do not recolor the entire player model away from default colors. Do not do this. TF2's character models are specifically colored for specific reasons tied to readability, so you can not only tell what class someone is on, but also what team they're on. Do not do this. I have to say no specifically for that reason. Never do that. Ever. Lambda Core. I know I looked at this one before. I know I have. I know I critiqued this before. Did you change it? I feel like you changed it. You did something. I know for a fact that I've critiqued this before, but I can't remember if I did this on stream. Because the last time I did a workshop stream was 2 months ago, so I can't remember. But I know I looked at this before. I'll relay the same criticism again. The Lambda logo just does... It looks out of place. It looks weird. Because you're taking an element from one game and you're putting it into another, and it's gonna stick out like a sore thumb. The color palette is fine. The texture work fine, but it's just the Lambda logo that does not belong, in my opinion. And I think when I looked at this the first time, the first thing I said, or one of the things I said, is just make this the TF2 logo. Look at the last screenshots. These? No, I know what this is going for. I know what this is going for, but I'm gonna say that I'm gonna say what I said last time. I would put the TF logo on there. I would do the TF logo. That's what you should do. Do the TF logo. And yeah, I think Monkey is right. Like on here it doesn't look so dark, but when you have it in game, I think your black is a little bit too dark. I would wash it out a little bit. If you wash out the black, then the contrast between your yellow and orange isn't going to be as harsh, and it's not going to pop out and look really, it wouldn't look so much like a toy. Oh, it's still not updated? Wait for it to be updated? Well, hopefully, well, here's more criticism again. Yeah, I would wash this out a little bit more. Just a little, not much. Just a little bit. Command Center, seen this one before. It's fucking phenomenal. This is a fucking amazing warpaint. We need this in game immediately. It just looks awesome. God. Look at this. Oh, God, it looks fucking awesome. Unfortunately, it uses a custom base, so we're never going to see it in game. We'll never see it in game, but my God, is this warpaint gorgeous. Fuck me, man. Go vote on it. I don't care. Go vote on it anyways, because maybe by some fucking miracle, it will get added. Amazing skin. Simple as. Saw this Whoa! Holy clip art. No, holy shit. Do not do this. Do not take clip art that you found off of Google. I guarantee that you did not draw this. There's no way you did. Who is this person? It's just not good. It's just really bad. They turned off comments, of course, because people are probably pointing out that this was just clip art they took off Google. I wonder. Can I just find it right now? Can I just find it right now? Oops. Hold on. I have too many tabs open. I can probably find it by scrolling for a moment. Because I don't think they drew this. There's no way. I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced they drew this. Even if they did, it looks really bad. Is this that doesn't look real. Oh yeah, they could have traced it. That's true. They could have traced it. But here's the picture of the drawing they did. It could be an original piece of artwork, but I see nothing that resembles eraser marks. I see no smudges. It looks too clean. I'm leaning towards they traced it. It was made by a cheater, and he posted in the Discord server with the client on, so it's made by a cheater. Well, surprise, surprise. Looks like shit, dude. Not good. Also, you did a noise filter inside of Photoshop and made it silver, so no thanks, not interested, goodbye. Garbage. Postman. That's cute. I feel like, yeah, look, like, if you're gonna get clipping issues this badly, maybe you shouldn't put it where his arm is going to morph into the bag. Maybe you should have put it, like, more towards his back, where you're not gonna get clipping issues? Ah, God. The hat is fine. The hat is totally fine, but the bag is not good. Also, the shirt looks weird. I think it just looks weird because he doesn't have his grenades on there. The lack of grenades is bizarre to me, but I feel like... Or you could just shrink the satchel down so it's smaller. Yeah. It looks weird because it's just always going to be clipping through his left arm. I don't like that. I mean, other than that, it looks totally fine. Yeah, it's inoffensive. Like the hat is great. I like the hat. I think the hat's fine. I think the how they did his shirt looks fine. It's just the fucking bag clipping through everything. They could have thought that out a little bit better. I'm gonna remain neutral on that set for that reason. Bottle of war paint, nice. Bottle themed war paint, just simple, clean, looks really good, based off Demoman's bottle. Funnily enough, these textures translate decently well over to it. I think it looks weird to have like a shiny poop metal. I feel like the shiny poop metal looks odd. I think it needs some texture. I think it needs a little texture. Having just the flat brown looks odd. Yeah, I wouldn't do flat brown. I would try to throw some texture into this. You don't need much. You don't need much. But you need more than what you have. Why not just use this same texture but color it as the glass? Maybe try that. It's a little too smooth. Beyond that, it's fine. Beyond that, it's fine. I'll still say yes to it. Also, I'll be right back. I really have to use the restroom, so give me like 2 seconds. I will be right back. Uno momento. Fucking Gregnant spam, of course, while I'm gone. The Gregnant spam while I'm away. Gotta have it. Gotta have it. Gregnant and Gregnancy. Thank you for your generosity. I'm seeing some trade offers come in. Unless these are things that people want me to sign. Though I have to say, actually, I should probably like, I should make it a point. So here's my thing, man. I appreciate that you're giving me an unusual war paint in a donation, but I have to say, please don't send me TF2 items as donations anymore. I'm not going to accept TF2 donations or TF2 item donations anymore. Primarily because I've cashed out. I don't want to get more stuff for the game. And I really appreciate it. Like, thank you so much. You're very generous and you're super kind. But I don't want more TF2 stuff. I'm selling everything. I'm only keeping the things I use, and that's it. So, again, I appreciate it. You keep it. You keep it. You use it. You sell it. You are too kind. Also, impromptu slop diaries. We have Sweet Tarts ropes. I've never had these. Well, I lied. I had 2 of them earlier, but I forgot to film myself reviewing them. So we have Sweet Tarts ropes. Never had these. Shitty candy. We'll see what these are about. Have a sniff. Very chemically. They smell like they're basically just Twizzlers. It smells like Twizzlers. It smells like a Twizzler. It looks like a Twizzler, a little cum inside of there. Just the tip, you know, just the tip. There you go. Just the tip. Pure sugar. Pure sugar, but it tastes good. Chemically infused candy. Gets you addicted, makes you strong. It was good. Hello from Brazil? Hello. Hello, man from Brazil. How are you? I can feel it taking years off my life. I can feel it taking years off my life putting this in my mouth. Anywho. Yeah. I already saw this set. It does the same thing I mentioned before. It does too much. Puts too much on the engineer. Can't do this, man. Can't do it. What could this be? So why is this censored for me, but all the rest of TF2 isn't, even though TF2 is age restricted? Like, this would happen with any TF2 related thing. I'll pull it over to my second monitor to see what this is about. Oh my god. Yeah, it's Sniper Pissin. No, it's a little gross, alright? It's a little gross. We don't need a golden shower in TF2, I'm afraid. Eerie flames. No, I mean, I don't this is really old too, isn't it? It's relatively old. I mean, I don't mind it. It's too... Yes, let's hyper-saturate burning flames and just make it pink. I don't want more unusual effects, man. I'm so burnt out on unusuals. I want something simple. I want something clean. I'm over it. I'm over it. We don't need more. I'm gonna say no. Show me something different for once instead of hyper-saturated neon vomit. That's what I want. That's what I want. I want to go back to basics. Give me some nuts and bolts or something. Rust in peace. Okay, here we go. This is interesting. I actually really like this. This is not bad. I like how they handled the rust texture. It's not too fuzzy, not too noisy. I like the rust in between the metal plates here. Really good. Clean. Do we have more? I want to see higher wear. I want to see what this looks like with more wear. Give me more promo pictures. I want more promo pictures, please. I like this a lot. I want to see this higher. Does this have custom wear? Give this custom wear. So it gets more rust on it. Or give or have custom wear where like it makes it turn black. Where it, like you get like this level of blackness. That'd be really cool. But so far, I'm liking what I'm seeing. I'm liking what I'm seeing. Yeah, so while we're here, I can go back and revisit the whole vents thing. It's like those vents I showed from earlier, if he just made them smaller, or not small, but like spaced them out, like if he removed every other vent, then this would look a lot better on this war paint, as I mentioned earlier. Lone Queen, I feel like this is a reference to something, and this is really, really noisy. Wow. Yeah, this just... Yeah, it just doesn't look good. The color choices are really bad. When you do blue and green and red and green, and the red or the blue element is brighter than the green or vice versa, it tends to look really bad. If there wasn't a team colored element on here, like if this was just another gray or just also black, then the color palette of silver, green, and black looks good. But paired with the team colored element, it just looks really, really ugly. And then this texture here where you have this starburst pattern, that looks really, really bad. It comes to this point, you shouldn't do this. If it comes down to a point and starbursts out like that, it creates opportunities for a lot of noisy areas on the weapon model. When you do a texture pattern like this, you almost get it to look like the dazzle camo that you saw on warships during World War I. That looks good because you don't have the individual pieces of the camo coming down into a focal point, and all of the individual pieces are roughly the same size, and they have a nicer, more even distribution. But when you have this looks really ugly and fuzzy, and everything's getting crammed down into this one point. So redo this texture, make it look something that's more akin to dazzle, like we'll do like dazzle camo. Like that's a little better, right? It's random, but also a bit more organized in that the individual thicknesses of all the stripes don't vary that much. Here they vary a lot because you have them coming down into a single focal point, and that looks really bad. Yeah, so do that. Keep the colors, though. The colors are fine. Oh, dude, speaking of which, so we know it's cool. So I watched a movie last night called The Greyhound. Or it's just called Greyhound. It's about World War II ships crossing over the Atlantic from America over to Britain to help out with World War II. Holy fuck. Could not recommend that movie more. Yes, with Tom Hanks. It came out last year, I think, or this year. Fucking awesome movie. Or it came out recently. Like, if you like war movies, you will love this movie. It's like a very, very spectacular look into how crossing the Atlantic during the war would have been like. Yeah, it's called Greyhound. Greyhound is the name of the movie. It's fucking awesome. Greyhound. It scratches that itch like the movie Fury does. Fury is a... Oh my god, it's another one of like my favorite movies where you're just like... really solid war movie. Anyways, back to this. Yeah, so do that with your camo texture, your primary color. You need to desaturate the hell out of it so it's more in alignment with the rest of your colors, because this being the bright element looks really, really bad. You get away with it more on the blue because green is blue adjacent, but it looks really bad juxtaposed against the red. Alternatively, you could make this purple instead of red, and that would solve the problem, but then you feel like you're incorporating too many elements into a single war paint. So, yeah. That's what you need to do. Very, very noisy. I mean, it's not as bad as, you know, terawatt or kilowatt. It's at least condensed to be around the head, but it's just... It's very hard for me to be objective about unusual effects anymore, because there's just so, like, yeah, like, Sapped did this better. Sapped did this better because it's not so bright and noisy and just, oh god, I'm so tired of unusual effects in this game, man. I'm so burnt out on them. Because all we're gonna get is more neon color palette swaps and garbage on the head or orbiting the head. I don't know. I'm not a fan of it. I'm just gonna stay neutral. Classic camo. I've seen this war paint many a time over. It's okay. The colors are fine, but the texture work is a little dodgy for TF2. It's not the worst. It's not the worst. Banana Land is what I think of immediately. I think of Banana Land, the Banana Land video. So... This looks better with higher wears because you get more darker elements to kind of break up just the puke green. I know what they were going for, TF Classic, but you can't take stuff from one game and then put it into another one and then expect it to translate very well. This is an example of that. I just don't think it's very good. Saw this before as well. I think I looked at this one on stream, if not fairly recently. I can't remember if I looked at this on stream or not. It's pretty good. Like, as out of all of the Half-Life cosmetics I've seen before, this is the one that brings it into TF2 the best, where it simplifies down the suit. It simplifies the suit down, keeps some elements in there, ties it to TF2 stylization. Definitely still looks like something the medic would wear. It's just really good. The only thing I don't like about this is I don't like the heart monitor beeping across it. I think they could have just left that as static and not something moving across his torso. That adds some elements of visual noise that I don't think is appropriate, but given that the rest of the cosmetic is nice and simple, fine, you can get away with it. Paint region also only paints the heart monitor, so great. Subtle paint region, nice. The shade of red is a bit odd. However, when it comes to the medic's torso, it entirely lacks team color except for his tie and for his team emblem. So this actually, as you can see, it matches his medipack. So, I should say it closely matches his medipack. So that looks okay. It's at least close to the default colorization, and it adds more. It doesn't detract, it adds more team color, which is always a good thing. You don't want to change default team colors in their positions, but if you add more of a different shade, that's okay. And this is pretty good. I like it. So yes. Liberty Copper. I know I've seen this one before. I know I've seen a version of this one before. I don't remember what I said before. Looks like croc dusted. John Freeman. If you love skins, gamble in CSGO. No, do not gamble, kids. Gambling is bad, because the house always wins, and you will lose all of your money. All of TF2's and CSGO's monetization systems are incredibly predatory, and are determined on your what's the word I'm looking for? On your predisposition to get addicted to gambling, so don't do it. Because if you do, you will always lose your money. Take it from me. Don't do it. You will burn every cent you have before you turn a profit. I wish games weren't casinos. True. Completely agreed. That one live stream you had and you were sick, it was late at night, and people were sending you videos to watch. I think that was a month ago or something. Will I upload that? No, I will not, because I said things that people would be very upset about. Anyways. Decent war paint. I like the red a lot more. I think the blue is leaning a little bit too far towards the green side. I would bring it more towards blue. I would also... It looks like the lines between your plates are barely noticeable. I would darken them a little bit and thicken them a little bit. The rivets look fine, but these are really like hair thin lines. You need to thicken the spaces between your plates and your tiles a lot more. The copper texture, however, is fucking great. So yeah, tweak the blue color, thicken your lines just a hair between your copper plates and your tiles. Then it's good. Decent skin. Few more tweaks and you're right and you're there. Few more tweaks and you're there. Okay, so this is where I was. Okay, let me quickly find my place in my pile of links here before I continue. There is Suspicious Carl, and now we can continue. More links. Oh, Discord lags. Gotta love it. Does anyone else have this problem with Discord on mobile, where no matter what you do, if you open up a text channel, if you go to a different server, the app lags miserably? I don't know who's at the helm of Discord Mobile's development, but whatever they're doing in there, they are fucking up royally. Like, the user experience with Discord is fucking abysmal. I don't know how they keep getting away with it. It's genuinely terrible. Like, what the fuck are you doing? That's all you work on. Make it not lag on my phone. Maybe don't ask people, right? Like, maybe, where is this fucking thing? Like, hold on, I have to find it, right? Like, maybe don't ask people to spend $16, 16 bucks. They want people to pay 16 fucking dollars for a profile picture decoration. They put more emphasis in selling you this garbage, and whoever buys this, I think you should be lobotomized, because ever since we started coddling the idiots in society, natural selection has not been allowed to take its course. And because of people like you, shitty organizations and companies like Discord appeal to you, the lowest common denominator, and no longer feel the need to make their services functional when they can just keep making money by selling retards like you garbage like this. Fuck! I hate Discord. Anyway, Galvanic. Another implementation of this noise filter inside of Photoshop. Not that it looks bad. Not that it looks bad. And the execution here, not terrible. Looks pretty good. All of your color palette is definitely in alignment. I can tell you're just getting into, like, creating that painterly style. This is a bit noisy. You have this speckled texture here. I would not do this. It makes it very, very noisy. I see that as your custom wear. You don't really even need to do that. All you need to do is this. All you need to do is this. Give me a moment. I'll find it. Patterns. All you need to do is just pull a solid metal texture out of TF2, tweak it to the color you want, make it that, like, same copper shine or what have you, and then go with that. You don't need to have, like, the speckled fuzzies you got going on with this. This looks quite good. Like, all your colors are good. The galvanized texture looks really good. Just get rid of the speckles in your custom wear, and then you're fine. Yes. Good. That's it. Moving on. I don't know if I want pee. Don't know if I want pee. I don't know if I want piss. Like, I feel like Cypher, buddy. Cypher, you're like lacing. Do you have something you want to tell us? You got something you want to tell us? You got something you want to share with the class? Just a smiley face in the fucking chat. You got something you want to tell us? A little bit? Here's the thing. The normal raindrops version, I think is great. I think it's a nicer, not hyper neon garbage effect. I'm a bigger fan of Stormy Storm and Blizzardy Storm. This meets in the middle at that quite well. Raindrops look fine. You have the occasional splash in the cloud, so it's not super noisy or busy. This is a good effect. I much prefer this effect over everything else that I've seen before. However, we don't need a golden shower in TF2. I feel like there's something you need to share with the class. It's piss. It's piss. It's fucking piss. Why do you have it's people being peed on? Why? Listen, I know people are into that. I don't judge whatever you do in the privacy of your own home. I'm not gonna dog you for it. You like getting pissed on. That's your thing. I just don't like looking at it. Alright? And I don't want the implication of being pissed on in TF2. I don't like it. It's gross. Can I just have the gray version, please? Can I just have the gray? I don't want the pee. Even the acid rain is fine. I just don't want piss. I'm an amateur photographer and have Discord friends who love seeing what I do. So unless I go around my ass with paste bins, I have to use Nitro. Discord's default file size limit is a scam. Yes, it is. Everything Discord does is specifically designed to get you to spend more money for a shitty service. And they get away with it because the whales, the ones that just buy everything, are the ones funding their negligence. Similar to what's happening with TF2. Yeah, Cypher. The effect is good. No pee. No piss. No pip. No pee pee. None. The bad boy. Careful. Careful. You might get some people upset. You might anger some people. We agree. Right? We agree, right? Yeah. I don't know, it looks good. Paint region is subtle enough. I like the coat. I like the metal emblem. The lapels look good. It's decent. This is actually like a really nice cosmetic. It's good. I like this version the most. This version is probably the best. Like, when it comes to making a torso cosmetic, this is about as much detail as you can include before things get too busy. This is like the upper limit on the number of colors and separate details you want to throw in. If anything, I think what they should have done is they should have made this part of the collar the same color as this part of the collar. But they didn't do that because this is his paint region. And personally, you don't need a paint region for this. Keep this all black. Keep the undershirt the same. Or rather, keep the collar also team colored. You don't need to have that be paintable. I would get rid of I would just not have the paint region on this, honestly. This looks a little bit better because there's a bit more continuity with the rest of the medic's torso here, like with this part of the collar. That looks quite good. Maybe I like this version the most. I think I like this version the most, now that I think about it. Yeah, I think I do. I think it's okay. I'm not offended by this cosmetic at all. I will say yes. It's just a DDR uniform, don't worry about it. Fitting for the Dark Knight music to come firing on. Oh, shit. Let me get to a different playlist that won't get me copyright strike. Oh, it's gonna get... I'm gonna get fucked by copyright anyway. Whatever. Oh, shit. How's my video going? Yeah, my video is going slow, but it's going good. Again, I really appreciate everyone's patience for my next video. It's taking me a long time because I want it to be perfect. And it's the kind of video where if I fuck up one small element of this video, then that's gonna give everyone a reason to completely disregard everything else I say. Because what I'm saying in this video would be immediately and openly accepted by any other wholesome figure in the TF2 community, but because it's coming from me, despite it being factual, people are going to be mad and will dismiss it. So my video has to be fucking airtight. Nothing can be out of place, and so it's taking me a really long time to make sure it's perfect. So, because of that, it's taking me a long time, and I'm really hoping the video will get done by next month. But we'll see. Full geared. It's a clever idea, but it's not really TF2. The perception of depth in TF2 is achieved by gradients. It's achieved by that painterly style. TF2 doesn't have three-dimensional stuff like this, where depth is being achieved by making it look like shapes are layered on top of each other. So this gearbox doesn't look good and doesn't really match with TF2's style. It looks like it's been pulled out of another game and put inside of TF2. So it's a mismatch. What you could have done is just this right here. This right here in your promo art, you could have just done that inside of the window. It's 2D, it still has the gears inside of the weapon, and that would look really good. That's what you should have done. And that's it. The rest of the war paint is fine. Except the custom wear. The rust wear looks really bad. Use silver. Use a silver wear for this, and then you're good. Because the rust is too dark, it contrasts with the silver metal texture a bit too strongly. I don't know if I mind the yellow being used for blue team. I think that's okay. I think that's okay. Yeah, that's it. Those are my critiques. There you go. Chemical Warfare. Hey, okay, this finally got done. So here we have another set that was worked on by, or at least spoken about with me by Greg. So here we go. Pretty cool gas mask for the medic. This looks really good. So this achieves just the right amount of detail, and it looks really solid. So originally, when this was brought to me in the earlier stages of its development, where originally it had a nose piece and it didn't look very good, and they removed it, and then now it looks phenomenal. This looks way more in line with TF2 stylization. This is a really good gas mask. I like it. The paint regions are also muted. It's either the eyeballs but kept bright, or it's the entire mask, but it looks like they mute down the colors. Yeah, it looks like the colors are very heavily muted, which I very much appreciate. I wish more people would do this. So the mask, solid, looks really, really good. The helmet, I also, let me look at it. Let me look a bit closer. We have another Stahlhelm style helmet. I like this one more, honestly. I don't like the extra additions of the paint splatters and shit. That adds too much noise. Just the solid color with the cross, that looks way better, in my opinion. Thankfully, we have the style for that. But overall, this helmet is very solid. It's a really good helmet. I like it. Also very good. Let me look at the coat. Acid Raincoat. It feels chunky, but it's not bad, actually. I like what they did with the emblem. I like the straps. I like the buttons. I find it funny. Buttons are always something that people seem to struggle a lot with when making TF2 items, and they kind of nailed it with this one. I like this a lot. I think I vote yes on the entire set. The only thing I don't like is the paint on the helmet. But beyond that, it's pretty good. Bit too plasticky material? I don't think so. I think it's fine. Like, it's meant to look a little bit plasticky, but it's not as bad as I've seen others. I think this is okay. I've seen others try to do like a fully shiny suit on someone, and that looked quite bad. I think this is okay. Also, subtle paint region. Very much appreciated. Yeah, there's also, like, with each of these individual cosmetics, there's also a lot of good loadout potential, and that's something else that you really want to do. If you're making a cosmetic, you want it to be as compatible with many other cosmetics that are already in the game. And that will have people enticed to use it, and it will look good. So good. Good set. Good shit. Saw this. Payload patented. We saw this one already. Wait, no, this is a different one. Wait, is this the same one? I'm confused. This is not the same one that we saw earlier. No, this is a different one. This is a different one, and I like this one more. This wood texture is way better than the previous one because it looks like just rusted metal and not actually wood. Yeah, and they have the color more appropriate. The color of the wood on this one's a lot better. Yeah, I think this one's the winner. Yeah, this is the superior payload themed warpaint. Except no, I lied. You know what this one doesn't have? This one doesn't have the metal plates or the rivets. Can I take the other one? Can I take the metal textures off of that one and the wood texture from this one and put those two together? You, Mecha6, and the other guy who made the other one, get into contact with each other, have sex, make a baby, and have that baby be your two war paints put together. Yes, do that, okay? No homo, alright? Do that. because this wood texture looks a lot better. And also this base, this war paint and base looks a lot better than the other ones. Where yeah, use this base, use this wood, but use the metal textures from the other guys. Then it's good. No, you don't need a cry some more sticker. I think if that acts as a random element on the main metal texture, I think that's okay. This does not need a sticker. Not that it would look bad. Maybe a cry some more sticker would look decent. Like if they used banana peeled, right? Like if they used banana peeled. I could see this working on banana peeled, actually. Yeah. Yeah, maybe try banana peeled and then do a cry some more sticker. Because if you go to something on, like, say, the rocket launcher, little P rocket launcher, you could have, like, cry some more right there on the rocket launcher. That would look really good. You'd have to work out. I mean, it's unfortunately you don't, and you wouldn't need. God, okay. See, that's why a random element would look better. Because you could get cry some more on the side of the minigun if you get a good seed. And you wouldn't need to rely on custom sticker placement, which would destroy any chances of the war paint getting into the game. Yeah, it might work as a random element more than an actual fixed place sticker. I didn't realize that poll was still going. So, the poll from earlier... The final solution, the final answer, does playtime matter when giving a video game opinion? 81% of you say yes. Interesting. Out of nearly 1,000 votes. Personally, in my opinion, I think it does. Like, you shouldn't give an opinion on a video game if you haven't played it. I feel like that's a very basic thing. So, like, at the base level, you have to have some experience playing the game. You can still criticize it, you can still have an opinion on it, but I'm gonna value your opinion less if you've not interacted with the piece of media. Whoa! Okay, that's a lot. I mean, yeah, it's the silver version of Australium, but holy god, doesn't mean that it would look good in TF2. Australiums look weird, and a silver version of them would also look very weird. I'm gonna say no. Oh, it's based off refined metal. Okay, that's cute. Okay, the concept is good. The concept is good. But you don't make it look like an Australium. You know, get it? I mean, you could just do a shiny version of Steel Brushed. And this would already do what Steel Brushed does better by adding more elements in to break up the shiny silver texture. And we don't need Nuzelium. We don't need that. You could do better work with this. In fact, what you could do... What could you do? The custom wear is good, because it's like the metal rusting up, that's fine. I just don't like that you made it as shiny as an Australium. I think that looks bad. Yeah, the shininess of the Australium looks bad. Personally, hot take, I know people are gonna get angry because I don't like when the community shoehorns shit into the game and they like forcefully make it canon. Nuzelium isn't a thing in TF2, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, but it's not a thing in TF2. The community wanted a silver version of Australiums, or like when you have like that Fong bug or whatever it is that makes Australiums not gold but silver. The community kind of just created this thing of like, oh, it's the silver version is Nuzelium. Get it? Because New Zealand, Australia, whatever. I think that's dumb. If you're gonna have a silver version of an Australium in the game, you want it at least loosely tied to stuff you see in the game. And this is tied to the game because it's just refined metal. It's shiny, and it works, and it pulls off the same concept, except it's tied to the game. That's a lot better, in my opinion, than going, oh, it's Nuzelium, you know? So I like that anyways. Better than just calling it that. But I still don't like the way it looks. I think you need to do something more with this texture instead of just making it a silver Australium. I think you need to add a little texture. You can keep it shiny, just not this shiny. Yes. Fantastic concept. One that I've not seen before, actually. This is the, like, and that's also, like, a really good concept. No one's done a refined metal war paint. That's, like, and now that I look at this, like, that's common sense. That just works. Because you're breaking down weapons into refined metal, so doesn't it make sense that the weapons themselves would be made out of refined metal? It works. It's perfect. I just don't like the shininess. I don't like the shininess. Borneo's based. No, it's not. I fucking hate that map. Fuck you. Borneo is not based. Anywho. Not bad. I feel like... What could you change about this to make it a little bit better? I feel like an element of this needs to pop a little bit more. I like that you've tied your camo textures together. That's something you need to do. You tied your camo texture together with your secondary green. That looks good. Everything kind of blends together too much. A certain element of this needs to be brightened up a little bit. God, there's just, it's... I hate using these skins as a reference, but this is closer. I need to look at... Not Backwoods Boomstick. Where is it? Is it Backwoods Boomstick? It's ugly as shit. Yeah, what it does here, it inverts the light and dark elements. So things don't blend together too much, whereas here, you have more dark than light. Honestly, maybe what you should do is you should just brighten your... So you have these lighter greens in here. Bump the saturation a little bit. And maybe bump the saturation of the browns just a little bit more. Brighten them up a little bit. Bump the saturation just a tad. That will give something an opportunity to pop from the overall palette. And that would look a lot better. This looks good as is, don't get me wrong, but it needs a little something to stand out. Just something, right? Like, I get it, it's camo, something's not meant to stand out, but if you want it to look good in TF2, you need to give it a little something. 95% of the way there. 95% of the way there. It's like it's another 95% done war paint. Small tweaks can make it just that much better. Like Squidward. Why'd they make this as heavy as Squidward? The fuck? It's horrible. Oh god. Everyone just like, yes, yeah, it's great. Add it. Put it in the game. Fantastic. We love it. Oh Jesus. Yeah. No. Whew. Okay. I mean, all right. Ugh. Alright, that's a lot of saturation. Jesus. So, old war paint, ancient war paint from 2017. The texture, great idea. The colors, tone them the fuck down. Way too bright. Desaturate the hell out of them, bring them more into alignment with TF2's color palette. Pick any other colors except for this. And then it's better. Because, like, Poison Dart, like, okay, so here's an open challenge for people that want to make war paints. Someone else take this concept, but do it better. Because the pattern on a Poison Dart frog emulates camo. It looks like camo, so that's something that would translate pretty well over to a TF2 skin. Someone else do this, but pick a color palette that is more appropriate for TF2. Like a TF orange and black taper monkey, you know. Pick a better color palette, but use a similar Poison Dart frog texture. I challenge someone to do a better version of this. I want to see what someone can come up with. Because the only problem with this is the fucking saturation and color choice. Pick anything else. Yeah, easy. Make gradients. Yeah, just make a better gradient. That's all you have to do. Make a better gradient. No. I think this is a terrible idea. I mean, it's a funny idea, but we don't need, you know, a giant protrusion coming off of the fucking player model. Oh god. I mean, it's funny. I like how this guy's walking around with his own, like it's shooting off his head. Unusual kill. What's that fucking meme? It's yeah, it reminds me of this. It reminds me of this image. Silence liberal. That's what it reminds me of. Hold on, give me one that doesn't have like the stupid fucking text. It just reminds me of this. Silence liberal. It's the first thing I see. That's the first thing I fucking think of. Silence brand. That's another one. Silence brand. Yeah, same meme. But no, not a good idea. Funny, but no. Houston Hustler. Haven't I seen this before? I feel like I've seen an item set almost exactly like this before. Let's go to the full set. Let's see what they got going on here. Pretty decent. Overall good. You got more of the base team color on Engineer. You gave him a tie. Gave him, like, suspenders. Looks pretty good. Pretty solid. Let me guess, the tie is paintable? Yeah, it's a bit big. There are worse things you can have paintable on here, but it's not the worst paint region. It looks okay enough. And they added more team color, and then the accents on here are also team colored, but also not super sharp and harsh, so the overall, you know, the overall torso isn't super busy. Looks pretty good. The tie is like jet black here. Is that intentional? Ew. You could have, like, toned down the color so you still get the stripes, and it doesn't look like it's untextured. Anyway. Decent, not bad. The glasses are also not terrible. Decent hair. I like the hair. It's weird because you have to, of course, model over the engineer's existing goggles to give him glasses like this, so it looks kind of bizarre. They just kind of like stapled lenses on the front of engineer's face. Doesn't look bad. Looks okay. The whole hair is paintable because why not? But it's not bad. I think I'm okay with this. I'm pretty okay with this set. I say yes. There's an error submitting my request. Apparently you can't vote on this, but I think it's okay. Oh, we have a whole collection. Probably not gonna, but I kind of want to. I've already seen a few of these before. Here we go. That's it. That's it. This is purple. That's how you do purple. Washed out, not too saturated. That's how you do purple in TF2, right here. Perfect. Anyone else making purple war paints in TF2? Reference this. That's how you do it. Very good. Solid. That's how you do it. That is phenomenal. Fantastic. Good shit. Very good. You got like the art. It's like a good amount of detail, but not super detailed. You got like the nice Art Deco style going on. Just looks good. Is this orientation locked? I hope it is. Okay, so yeah, he wants it to have orientation lock. Good, and he just chose a seed that gets it as close as possible, but he intends for this to be orientation locked. So I hope that if this were added, then they do that. Looks fucking great. So I vote yes on this one. Criminal coded. Hey, here we go. Here's the poison dart frog texture, except made good. Yeah, it's okay. It's like a Dalmatian texture, actually. It looks like a fur coat. I guess this is meant to be like a fur coat. Yeah, it's meant to be like a fur coat, I think. Looks good. It's decent. I like they took the stickers from the Dead Reckoner, put them on here. Decent. Pretty good. I'm a fan. Not enthralled by the skin, but looks quite good. Cruisin' Cuban. Yet another cigar-based war paint, but this one is pretty solid. I want to see the wears on this. Do we have some wear action? Here we go. There's some wear action. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's how you do it. Fantastic. You have subtle embers. Subtle embers being revealed by the wear, not an entirely bright orange, noisy texture. Much better. They took this from, I think, one of the class emblems, which is fine. They recycled it. Good. Really clean. I vote yes. Global contender. Ooh, shit. This looks really good. This is awesome. Man. God. What isn't there to like about this one? Holy fuck. This is really good. This is great. Super fucking clean. God, this is... Fuck. I think it's the best war paint I've seen all day. Yeah, I'll link the entire collection in a moment. This is probably the best war paint I've seen all day. This looks really, really good. God. I want this. I would use this. Glory Hound. Here we go. So, they went for the opposite style of a marble texture. They did white on gold instead of black on gold. I wonder how they made this. I want to know how they made this marble texture. I'm curious. Looks pretty good though. I like it. Not as good as the previous one, but I think you succeed. You succeeded. It is team colored. Look at that. Ooh, yes, it is team colored. Or is it not team colored? Am I stupid? You should make this team colored. This is too blue. It's too much of a bluish gray. Make this team colored. Get like a washed out red. Very subtle red or brown, and then have this be the blue side. I think that's what you should do for that one. License to Kill. I think I've seen this one before. Very clean. Another simple, clean, good war paint. Good. Basically just a black version of the white version, and they rotated the grid by 45 degrees, but no complaints. And we Royal Roller, similar to that billiard skin we saw from earlier, similar color palette. Going for the casino, poker table, billiards table kind of look. Very much like High Rollers. We need more skins that look like gentlemen's skins in this game. It looks fucking great. Another solid skin, and then Team Aged Shade. I'm Hard. Looks really good. I mean, honestly, this whole collection, by default, should be in the game. Looks really good. Here, go upvote this. Really good. Really good. Solid collection. Saw this. Seen this before. So does this mean we have pets in TF2 now? God. Stupid fucking bread update. Ugh. Yeah, we have pets. We get it. Bread. Funny, haha, bread. And you want to have more pet cutesy shit in TF2. Yeah, no. Funny emotes where you can dance with your bread pet after you get a kill. This is like, this is about as far as you can get from TF2 in a taunt as you can get, aside from driving around in a fucking goofy car or playing an instrument. Another example of a shitty emote that does not belong in the game. Give me taunts, please. I want taunts. What's going on here? It's a coffee dispenser on the engineer's back. Why am I not offended by this? I'm kind of not offended by this, because I've seen dumber shit slapped on other player models. This at least looks kind of TF2-ish. Like, it's... Okay, of course the whole fucking thing is paintable, but... But what I find funny about this one is, at a glance, it still looks like some kind of utility backpack. Like, it's not in your face, this is a coffee machine, right? Because, like, you could just... They could have just done this, right? No, I don't want to shop for a coffee machine. Like, they literally could have just done this, right? They could have taken... I don't want to show my Amazon information. Can I just have the picture? They could have literally just taken a fucking generic espresso machine and then stapled it onto the back of the engineer and called it a day. They could have been fucking lazy with it. They could have said, eh, fuck it, I'm not gonna put any thought into this one. Fuck it, coffee machine on engineer's back, great idea. But no, it seems like with this one, they put a little bit of thought into it and, you know, reshaped it and made it look kind of like a backpack, but also, hey, it dispenses coffee. it feels a lot more TF2 than just a random object slapped onto a player model. Yeah, it's subtle wacky. And I've always been a fan of subtle wacky. If it's a subtle kind of goofiness, that's okay. And not like in your face, look how funny I am. It's funny, right? Clowns and funny things. Look at this. Look, I put a little, like a doggy on their head. It's, this isn't like in your face. It's not trying too hard. In other words, it's not trying too hard. I'm kind of okay with it. Would I ever use this? No. But I'm not offended by it. I'm really not. Once again, Sergeant Surplus. Wow, this is old. This is ancient. I mean, it's a cool idea, but this doesn't really look like TF2 stuff. I apparently downvoted this? I don't even remember when I looked at this. It doesn't look like TF2. I mean, it's cool. You made some really cool video game assets, but it doesn't look like something that belongs in Team Fortress 2. I could see this being put into another video game as something, but not TF2. It's nice work, though, but not for the game. Ooh. Is this meant to be water? Oh, it's the sewers, I see. So he has marble. He has marble, like a cobble texture, I'm assuming. And then and you have like television static. Don't do that. I would just do a flat color. Yeah, I would just do yeah, this is you have too many noisy elements going on here. So simplify this texture. Have this just be like a simple basic base black that you pull from the TF2 game files. That's fine. This marble texture looks okay. I wonder if he drew that. I'm suspicious. It doesn't look like it doesn't look like it was drawn. I could be wrong, but I tend to throw out accusations, I know. But it doesn't look like something they drew. The water texture definitely leaves something to be desired. I think you could have just gone with silver. Just do silver and then have the marble texture carry you the rest of the way. Yeah, that's about it. No TV static. For now, not very good. Zephaniah's Gambit. See, this one isn't as good as the other poker table style things. Because while this looks nice, like filigree looks good in TF2. Filigree looks good as a texture. But I think it's your color choice. The color choice is really fucking this over. I think you take the green too far into almost teal territory. You need to bring this back to be green and darker green. That would look better. The filigree looks cool. Leave that as is. The rest of your texture, the rest of the texture selections, that looks great as is. The stylization of the sticker looks off. I think it's the fact that your cards are bending, creating that 3D-ish effect. That doesn't really look like it belongs in TF2, nor does it look like it's painted on. I think you need to rework that to where everything's in a 2D plane. Keep the logo and the leaves on there. That's fine. Don't have as many colors in this. Don't add the highlights on the bullets. At most, maybe have 1 or 2 different colors. At most, 2 colors in this sticker. You throw too many colors in here, it makes it too busy. And a small detailed element that looks nothing like you'd see in TF2. Like, the busiest you should get for a TF2 sticker, in my opinion, is what you see on Coffin Nail, where it's a single color crest. That tends to look the best. If you can get or in monochrome, that's what you should need to try for. Where's Coffin Nail? Like, you don't want to get any busier or any more colors than this. That is exactly what you need to go for. And then the rest of the smaller details are fine. Because you used 1 color, you can get away with it. But if you have a bunch of colors and details, that together makes the sticker look too busy and not really kind of like that painted on style for TF2. So, I don't think that sticker is very good. Yeah. Yes. So adjust the green, keep the filigree, tweak your sticker. Everything else is fine. Yeah, it's the shade of green that you've chosen. It looks very bizarre. It's almost an emerald green. almost an emerald green, and I don't think that looks good in TF2. Alleyway Assassin. I already saw the coat for this, and I already have to say no by default to the entire set because it changes the spy's default color into something else, and I don't think it's a good idea. Saw that war paint, it's phenomenal. Oh. Yeah, you don't want to do this. Pixel art does not translate very well into TF2 for very obvious reasons. Does this look pleasant to look at? No, and TF2 is not a pixel art game. It is a painterly game. So when you juxtapose two very different art styles against each other, it will stick out like a sore thumb and look very, very ugly. The colors you've chosen, however, for the primaries, the colors are great. Put those colors, just don't make it pixelated. Get rid of the pixels, and this would have been a great war paint. Done. Why'd you pixelate it? Also, get rid of the shitty custom wear. Depixelate this, and then the war paint is good. Why? That's all you have to do. Seriously, remake this and make it not pixelated. I like this. I like this a lot. We're getting a lot of good, lighter, white war paints today. This is another example of a really good one. It looks... They did a lot. They got a lot going on. They put a lot into this primary texture. And it's just one... They got a lot of... They have a lot of colors, but they're all within the same palette. You have the right kind of painterly style with this. The overall palette is phenomenal. It's just really clean. It looks good. I like this a lot. Yes. I'm a fan of this one. This looks really good. Like, I would use this one. It looks really clean on the minigun. Man, check this out. Shotgun is clean. Lock and load is clean. The wear looks nice. You have an example of your wares here? I think it just uses the default wear. It looks like it does. Which is fine. It's great. Yeah, this guy's done various things before. I know this guy's come far. He's come very far. He had very, you know, very beginnings. But over the years, he's greatly improved his work, and he's getting there. They're getting there. Getting much better. The improvement is insane. Very much so. But I like this. Solid. I'll take it. TF2? TF2? Can I have my game back, please? No. I want my game back. I don't like this. It's a bit much. It does too much. Welcome to looking at a different video game character. It's also really gross because they have to model over the existing spy. Like, his knuckles look chunky because this is where his sleeve is. This is where his old sleeve is, but they had to model over it so you get like a chunky knuckle. Ugh. It's really bad. It's really bad. Ugh. No, it's just shit. Sorry, it's shit. Ghostly. Here we go. We have like another. This is like the 5th or 6th haunted metal war paint that I've seen. The best one I've seen, still to this day. This one's okay, but the one I've seen, or the one that did it the best. I wonder if I can find it. I hope I can. I cannot spell today. Haunted metal. Is it gonna let me do war paint? Oh, of course. I hate that it defaults me to maps. Don't do that for me. Is this the one I'm thinking of? No, I don't think that's the one I'm thinking of. There was one that I saw before. Was it this one? I Who was this one? Yeah, it's this one. It's Philip's war paint. So Philip handled a haunted metal war paint the best, in my opinion. Even though this is a custom mapped skin, it got the colors right, it got the textures right. You have the added element of like the filigree you see in the curtains on Man Manor. This one is spectacular. I really wish, Phil, boy, what I want you to do, can you find a way to translate this over to just a regular war paint? Like, do everything you did here, but put that onto another war paint. Didn't you do that before? I feel like you did. Or maybe I'm insane and I'm misremembering. I guess you didn't. Yeah, what I want you to do, Phil, you get a chance. I want you to put this on just a normal war paint. Oh, he did. I'm retarded. Look, here we go. I'm dumb. He did this. Yeah, here we go. This is the one. This is the one. Here we go. He did it. I forgot about this. Here we go. Yeah, all the same textures, all the same colors. This just looks really good for a haunted metal war paint. That's how you do it. Granted, the other one that we were looking at a moment ago, if I can get back to it, it'd be great. This one, also not terrible. It's a little too punchy with the saturation. I'm not a fan of the gradient where it goes from like purple to pink. I would just try to tie that more towards the base purple that you see. It looks like they're kind of going for like the skybox colors. You also need a little more texture in this. Everything's a little too flat. Try to work in something else, either a metal texture or a stone texture. Get more of that painterly style in here to help break this up so it doesn't look like it's made of plastic. Yeah. Saw this already. Good cosmetic. I've seen this one before. Heat treated. I mean, yeah, it's good. You have the hot metal... The hot metal treatment with the variety of gradient options. It's good. Yeah, like if you're going to do a macaw masked style gradient war paint, this is kind of the area that you want to go. Where it's not super hyper saturated, not super in your face. Looks like something that would still be on a gun. Here, the metal getting hot because you're firing it too much. I wish this was the default. I don't like that I have to roll a good seed to make it look like my gun's actually hot from shooting it. I'll let it slide. But it's good. I think you got it here. You got it here. This is good. I'll take it. Saw this and that one again. Okay, so more links. It's not quite case hardened. It's not quite case hardened, but it still looks good. All right, I'm going to pull a few more links here. Give me some more. Scrolling down. Oh, they're all opening inside of a separate tab, motherfucker. It's so annoying. Oh, wait, it reset. Oh, it reset my progress and my links. Fuck. Hold on, I have to find where I left off. Shit. Give me a sec. Oh no, I lost my place. I'm starting at Scott the Woz. Am I roughly in the right area now? Okay, so we were past these. Is this one? Okay, this is where we were. Saw that one. Saw you. Okay, here's where we left off. All right. Here's where we left off. More links. More links. We'll do a few more, because I've been going for almost 3 hours now, and I'm getting a little tired. But we will do another batch. We'll do one more batch, and then we will call it a day. Awesome. Sneaky Ops. Again, pixel art really doesn't translate super well into TF2. It's just not the right type of stylization. It just doesn't belong in the game. The colors, I think, are fine. I really want you to, like, go back and rework this into something that fits TF2 textures. It just looks odd to me. Pixel art doesn't belong in TF2. Would I ever bring up a mini video based on custom orientation? Bring up a video based on mini custom... Like, what do you mean? We'll have to elaborate. Saw that already. Oh, God. Yeah, I get what they're going for. They're going for bismuth, but it just doesn't look good to have this pastel-y clown vomit all over a weapon. Like, the textures look really cool. Could you bring this into, like, a simpler color palette? The textures look great. Like, I like the gold on here. This gold pattern looks fine. Even this purple looks fine. Just take the primary texture and then just make it like 1 or 2 colors. That looks better. No pixel art in TF2 sand cannon. Yeah, the sand cannon uses the digi camo, unfortunately. The thing is with sand cannon, though, right? The thing about the sand cannon is that it has other stuff layered on top, so you're not being slapped in the face with the fact that it's pixel art. I have to scroll to it. Sand cannon. And also, you have other areas of the texture where it's a lot larger. So it's not like pixel, it's more like pixel. It's not as bad as the other one. Yeah, it looks cool standalone, but it doesn't look good in TF2. Yeah, your texture work is fine. Just change the color palettes to not be clown vomit. And then I think you probably could make something really cool with these textures so they don't completely go to waste. Yes. Mailman. Hey, look, another mailman hat. Made in 2020, then brought back to the modern era. Yeah, it's not bad. It's actually pretty good. I see nothing wrong with this hat at all. I think this is totally fine. Just a nice, simple mailman hat. It's good. It's good. It's got the envelope wiggling around in your head. I don't know. I'm not offended by this. It's pretty decent. I approve. Yeah, I voted no on this, primarily because it removes all team colorization on Heavy's shoulders, and then it replaces it with these 2 skinny wristbands, which they thought would be good enough as a replacement for it, and also it's paintable. What team is this? No. Bad cosmetic. Here is an example of a gas mask that does too much. The folds are way too pronounced, they added a nose, they added too many details on the hose going down to his front. The hat is okay, they added too much shit to his torso where you have these giant, bulky ammo bags covering up his current belt and utilities, and then this other belt here, this is just way too much. Overall, hard pass on this set, good god. Simplify the hell. Why is this not just a smooth gas mask? Why is there these weird folds in it? It's very strange. You're gonna eat some spaghetti? Enjoy your spaghetti. Mudcrawler. Here we go. Here we go. So here's a war paint that uses the aforementioned pixel art color palette in a more appropriate way. This looks a lot better. We have the black, we have the gray, we have the red and blue, but these are far more appropriate textures for TF2. Boom. That's how it should have been done. This is quite nice. I will vote yes. Good shit. Really good, actually. I'll take it. Man-made. Man-made. Pretty good. Your wood texture's kind of fuzzy. I don't know if I like that. Metal texture's fine. The wood texture feels fuzzy. Almost photographic in detail. Yeah, the wood is odd. And this is similar to that texture from this guy's other war paint that he did. This one. Where are you? It's that, it looks like the same texture but different colors, I should say. I'm not a fan of the wood on this one, man. Bit of a dud, I think. You might need to tweak the wood texture a bit. Tweak the wood texture. I like the screws. The screw sticker is good. It's clever. It's a nice little embellishment that's nice. Screw sticker is good. The wood texture is kind of funky. The color is fine. It's a bit too fuzzy. Any more examples? Meh. Just eh. Speaking of looking like a toy, we have just one picture. Only one. Once again, we have only one. I can't give much critique if there's only one promo picture. I would like to see more, ideally, but this just looks like a toy. I like the color of the red wood and the blue wood. I wish you had used something other than this almost borderline golden color. I feel like if you washed it out to something more similar to Civic Duty, like a more washed out kind of off-white color, that would look really good. And you could have the highly saturated wood color carry the war paint the rest of the way. But the overall composition is too saturated. So if you tone down that primary color into something more in alignment with, like, say, Small Town Bring Down, right? Tone it down to this, but then let the saturated red and blue carry the war paint the rest of the way, then that'd be really good. But I don't like the gold, or the gold brass color. Not very clean. Not very good. Ugly. Just fucking ugly. What else is there to say about this other than this is just fucking ugly? Good God. Like, as far as Halloween cosmetics go, Jesus. Takes a certain type. Takes a holy God, please never make cosmetics for TF2 ever again. It's always interesting looking at these profiles and seeing what they squirt out, but this is all terrible. No thank you. Saw that already. Of course they turn off. Of course, you know, no comments. This is okay. Dust Bowl Defender. You have like the color palette of the buildings around Dust Bowl. I like this camo texture. That camo texture looks really good. This is nice. I don't know if I want another solid brown on this. I don't know. What do y'all think? I lied. I like it. I like this one. What do y'all think? Good mercenary grade. Good brown camo, good mercenary grade. I'm a fan of it. I think it's good. Too simple? I don't think it's as simple at all. Had this been like a solid color, sure. Needs a contrasting color? I think I agree. That's what I was kind of leaning towards at first, but I think the camo takes it just enough of the way. Maybe it does need a more punchy element to it, something brighter to get some contrast in here. Maybe this gray texture could be black, like a much darker black. So it or maybe just bright. So bright. I don't want you to touch this texture though. This texture looks good. Like, I mean, as is, it's good. I would not mind this in game. But maybe tweak this texture a little bit so it's kind of darker. I don't know. I don't think it needs a contrasting element. I think it's okay. A brighter yellow. I don't know if this should be brighter, though. Silver instead of dull gray. That might be too bright. Could work. Silver could work. Maybe. Maybe. Yeah, I think maybe silver. Not too bright, though. 2 Fort Memento, I've seen this skin before, really good, just solid. Like, why do we not have more war paints with just the TF2 logo on them? I've seen this war paint before, just really good. All the colors are correct, the sticker is great, just give me this war paint now, I would use this. Good. Looks weird. You shouldn't have made it paintable. Why would you make the mustache paintable but not the rest paintable? It looks fucking bizarre. It should not been no, it looks ugly. If the mustache wasn't paintable, then this cosmetic would have been totally fine. But because you have to have a paint region, otherwise no one's gonna use the cosmetic, we have to make some part of this paintable. Ugh. No, I think the mustache is fine. The default mustache is totally good, and the cigarette fine, the scar, like, this is great. This is a good heavy cosmetic. But then they just had to give it a paint region because every cosmetic needs to have a fucking paint region. And by doing that, they made it look fucking terrible. Because if you have your mustache colored orange and then the rest of the shadow, the default brown color, it contrasts in a really ugly way. It's a shame they added a paint region. Yes. Yes. No, like Civ is another guy that just keeps cranking out really, really good war paints, man. Fuck. Valve, please add these guys work. They do really good shit. This guy does nothing but make really good war paints. God damn it, I'm tired of getting shit. Give me more good food. Now! More good food! Please! Fuck it. This is good. Another good war paint. Solid. Don't we have this already? Like, we just got this for Scream Fortress last year, to some effect. Really ugly. Really ugly, not TF2 at all. Just not good. The St. Patrick's Day community update. Probably not gonna go through all of this. It seems like it's just a map, a melee weapon, and a hat. Well, it seems really like they just wanted to like ship this with a map. Like the hat and the spike are kind of inconsequential, but I wonder if the map plays well. Curious. Is it a moving control point? King of the Hill. What does it do? Control the Keep is a brand new game mode where you need to hold the opposing team's base by capturing their control point and holding it for 45 seconds. The enemy is able to recapture it and restart the timer. That seems interesting, but in practice, I feel like that would be raw AIDS. Because if their control point is at their spawn, it's like capture the flag, but you have to stay in the intel room and defend the intel in that room for 45 seconds. That just doesn't sound very fun to me. It warrants heavy playtesting to see if it would be fun, but to me it just doesn't sound good. Yeah, both teams go full NG, and this really is just capture the flag, except half the process has been removed. Because you don't need to take the intel from their part of the map over to your spawn. Yeah, you need to yeah, exactly. You need to steamroll for 45 seconds in order to win, which is not a good game mode by design. If you have to do that, so probably bad. So why not just make this normal King of the Hill? All right, last one. Okay, not that one. I'll do one more, and then I'm going to call it a day, because I'm getting a little burnt out. Getting a little tired. I'm going to pick one more random link. We'll do it with Zyth. We'll see what Zyth has to show us. Freshly brewed. Your coffee war paint once again. Colors are good. That's alright. Very much reminiscent of cream corned. It's alright. I feel like you might be able to scale it down a tinge. I would scale down your primary texture a little bit. Just a little bit. Other than that, I think it's okay. It's not bad. It's decent. I'm okay with it. Feels a little flowy. Flowy's okay. Flowy you can get away with a little bit in TF2 if there's not too much detail or randomized elements on the overall composition. This is okay because when you have something that flows, there's still directionality to it. Like your eye wants to follow where the flows are going, like a simple horizontal or vertical or diagonal stripe or what have you, right? That's still an ordered thing. So you have semi-ordered stripes with some curves to them, but because you have that directionality, it's not an inherently totally random element. And so that still looks okay, and you can get away with that in TF2. So yeah, this is okay. I think it's fine. I would play with the scaling a little bit more, because like on here, these all look fine. What base do you use? Bankrolled. Is bankrolled randomized in scaling? I think that might be the problem. Where is bankrolled? Can't tell if the scaling is randomized. Let me put this on something else. Black box will tell me. Nope, it looks like fixed scaling to me. So your scaling is fixed, so I would scale down your primary texture just a little bit. Yeah, Lucid would like this one. Lucid and his coffee. He would like this one. Yeah, I would scale down your primary texture just a tad. And then you're good. Okay. I think that's enough for today. I am very tired. I have been going for almost 3 hours, so pretty good. Pretty good comeback from being away for a month. Again, I do apologize for for not being super active lately. I've had a lot going on, IRL, you know, just real life stuff that's been holding me up and preventing me from doing things for my YouTube channel and streaming, so I do apologize for that. Next video is underway. I'm working on it right now, so just please be patient with me. I said this earlier, but this is the video, or this is a video that I need to spend a lot of time on. I need to be very careful with it. Everything needs to be airtight, because if I fuck up in any aspect of it, that's all people are going to need in order to completely dismiss anything I bring forward. So it needs to be just perfect. And it's done. I have the script is done. I recently had to rework the script. I just finished it this morning. I put the finishing touches on it. I'm gonna do a re-record, and then the editing is going to hopefully go quickly. So I know people who fucking hate my guts are going to dismiss me anyways, but I want to give as few reasons as possible. I want to give as few reasons as possible for them to use that could then be weaponized to convince other people who have no idea who I am that what I'm saying is not real. So, it's gonna take some time. Bear with me. Anywho, other than that, thank you guys for hanging out. Thanks for chilling. I'm not gonna say what kind of video it is. I'm not spoiling it. I will not say. I will not. It's too important. It's way too important for me to say what it is beforehand. I can't. I know I always spoil what I'm working on. I give little hints, but I'm not gonna say anything for this one. It's far too important for me to even mention what I'm working on. But anyways, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for watching. Thank you for all of the donations today. You guys have all been very generous. I really appreciate that. And if you guys want notifications for when I do go live, join the Discord in the link in the description below. If you want to go in there for notifications for when I go live or for when I upload videos, you get that there. You can't talk in there. It's just for notifications. Beyond that, leave the stream a like, even though it's going to be... Actually, don't bother. I'm going to upload the VOD. Go like the VOD on my second channel. Go like the VOD when it's done. And that's it. I'm going to stop the recording now.